What to do, everybody? Welcome back to the Film Cave, episode 95. I'm right? Am I correct? 95?
96.
God damn it. 96. It's your boy Knight.
What's up, everybody? Logan here. Interesting episode. Nothing, crazy, but we got some stuff to talk about, some good stuff. So we're gonna jump into it, man. Let's get it going.
We do. We got a couple of headlines, some people talking some Marvel shit, some trailers, and a passing of another legend. Because why not? We haven't got enough, right?
I hear you.
Like, good Lord. But anywho, we thank you so much for joining us, whether you're watching here live and or on playback. We appreciate you. Either way, we thank you. We love you for the support. If you're watching and you're new, please consider subscribing to the channel, hitting that thumbs up, and the notification bell to be reminded when all episodes drop. Because we about that business. And we want y'all to have fun and not miss a show. Don't be left out. All right. Good sir. Are you ready?
Let's do the damn thing. Let's get it.
All right. So those of you who do not know, and there may be a few, that me and Logan are a couple of what, good sir? Let the people know.
Fucking nerds.
A couple of fucking nerds, man, which means we talk about film any and all goddamn day. But sometimes we like to step outside the relationship a little bit. We like to peek over the shoulder, look behind us, break some necks, see something else that might pique our interest outside of the world of film. But most times she still wears her beautiful head into the conversation because why?
Because she's a jealous ass bitch.
She is a jealous ass bitch. Why do you look so dark? Do you not have any lights on?
Am I super dark?
You're dark. It's like you're conflicted between good and evil right now is what you look like.
Let me see. I mean, I can turn this towards me. I was trying to save myself from
I was like,
blinded.
Do we have a blasting headache?
Yeah, I actually do.
Yeah, I said that makes sense as to why that would be the case then.
Let me see. Okay, so that's a little harsh.
You love harsh.
But it'll do. How's
But anyway,
that?
how are we all doing? Oh, he's back. Okay. Better. You're no longer conflicted, sir. Welcome.
Okay, good shit.
Welcome to the light. Oh, yes, but anywho, as we were saying before Logan's confliction, we like to call this here segment out there in the world. Out there in the world. It's motherfucking out there in the world. Yay. It's Power Ranger remix.
I should have muted our music in the background for that.
Oh.
just
Probably, but
a little conflicted like my lighting on the music choice.
It is all right. All right. So yes, we have to call this segment out there in the world. And there's a particular I want to say fashion we should go about out there in the world. So Logan, do you mind telling the people at home just exactly what in the fuck that fashion is?
That would be traditionary fashion, my friend.
You goddamn right it is. So, in said fashion, sir, take it away.
Yes, sir. First thing for me, kind of my only thing. I'm trying to think of anything else, but the big one is God of War Ragnarok.
Congratulations,
my guy. So finished it Wednesday of last week. So the day after, we had our good old show, and the game is just incredible. I got my haircut today, and my barber is a huge gamer and loves God of War, and so he's playing it currently. And I couldn't believe that he hadn't finished it yet, but he's been busy, and he also said he found another game that has somehow like taken over some of his life, and so he's obsessed with that one right now. But
it's a Pokemon.
No, but yeah, God of War Ragnarok. It's absolutely fucking incredible. Like this game it's legitimately, it's one of the best things ever. Like in terms of video game stories, it is the best. It is the most well thought out, the deepest. It took me 32 hours to complete it in the story. 32 hours. That's me playing on the easiest difficulty, like literally story mode. It took me 32 hours, so I can only imagine if you're dying multiple times every fight and all that kind of shit, how long it really takes you. 32 hours for that. Took me 45 total to completely 100% it. And that's with me. A lot of it's just running around doing nothing. But, when I finally decided, like, yeah, I'm going to 100% this, it was at the 45-hour mark. But literally, the 32-hour story, it does what Watchmen does, where every single piece of it throughout the whole 32 hours comes back around and wrapped in a bow. Like it is so well written, because it's also like, when I'm saying this, I really also mean the 2018 game, where like it's all the same story. There's just a 4-year gap, but like it's so incredibly well done. Like I'm excited for everyone to get to play it that will play it.
Yeah, fuck me.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's tough out there.
Yeah, it is.
But
very much so.
You need to just buy like a cheap PS4, and you'll just have PS4, But it's tough.
I want the 5. I would be satisfied.
I agree, actually, but yeah. Overall, though, incredible. Like truly loved it. The Norse mythology is like unbelievably good. Because I mean, you're running around with like Thor and Odin are a big part of the game. Very different from like MCU version, obviously.
Of course, naturally.
But yeah, man, I really hope more and more people play it, because that story, those two games together, it makes it my favorite like video game situation ever. Like, because that's all story. Not to mention like this one, especially the combat goes to the next level. Everything is top notch. Golly, I fucking loved it. Like, I really wish that like New Game Plus, I don't know why New Game Plus doesn't come on games immediately.
The hell is that?
So that's where you finish a story, like a campaign, and then you unlock New Game Plus. But it usually takes a few months for them to release New Game Plus. But what that is you get to start the campaign completely over with all of your shit that you already have, and all the moves and everything. So like, it's fucking great. Like, I mean, so that's when I've replayed God of War twice within the 3 weeks coming to Ragnarok, and I played it normal, and then I played it again New Game Plus, just like sped through it, both on the easiest difficulty. So you can only imagine how quick it was in the New Game Plus.
Got to get you these settings, my friend.
See, but I'm good. Like, I just want the story. I want the experience. I want, all. I don't need to struggle. Like, it's the same thing. Like, why I don't like horror movies. Like, I don't need to be afraid and like frustrated. Like, I want to enjoy myself. I don't want to sit there and be like, oh, I'm gonna beat this thing on the hardest difficulty. No, that's not me. I don't have fun with that. But yeah, fucking love the game. I really hope more people jump on it, because it's game of the year easily kind of shit. Like, it's gonna destroy.
Okay, heard it. Well, one day in life I'll end up playing it. All right, so we would be remiss not to talk about one of the elephants in the room, something that definitely struck the world.
Yeah,
we're going to put out there in the world, we lost yet another damn legend, right off the heels of Kevin Conroy. We lose good old Tommy. Jason David Frank sadly passed away. I believe they said by self-harm, so by suicide, which is always very rough. So yeah, we lost another one, man, and that's another one. If you grew up in the 90s, you grew up on Power Rangers, in all of its goofy ass entirety. Um, I was never a Green Ranger fan. I was always Red Ranger all day. But
Really?
oh yeah, I was Red
Oh.
Ranger all day, son. Absolutely, that's my favorite color. So I was like, yeah, fucking red. Let's do it.
Oh, okay, got you.
But of course, Tommy was a badass as Green and White Ranger and all that good stuff.
Yeah.
And it was just such a the Power Rangers movie itself is a fucking classic. With Ivan Ooze and all. But yeah, man, just really sucks. See, from what I've gathered and seen, you know, like videos and interviews and just interactions with fans, like he was just really all about that, like fans. He was like, I will never ever get
Right.
tired of like, hey, you're my fucking hero, you're the Green Ranger, you're this and that. And that's very rare to find people who are famous for something and not be a complete asshole about it. That their fans and people who grew up with them keep referring to them as like, oh my god, you were this, you're my everything, that and that, like Urkel and all them shits who can be complete assholes about it. But
Right.
so he was very humble, which was, you know, rare and dope, outside of being a badass and being on his superpower beatdowns on YouTube and, you know, stuff like that, which is always cool to see. But yeah, so I imagine you have the same fond memories with Power Rangers.
Yeah, no, I mean it's definitely grew up on it. Was, you know, running around like a fucking crazy person to be a Power Ranger. And see, that's what. Yeah, of course. And that's what's funny is like I obviously remember like Mighty Morphin, but I was too young whenever I got it. Like, because Mighty Morphin was like a couple seasons, if I remember correctly, and then they started changing it every year. So like it came out before I was born.
Yeah.
But
Jesus.
like I want to say the first one I remember was Lightspeed Rescue.
Oh
like,
god.
That I was like I distinctly remember watching.
Lightspeed Rescue. Jesus.
Lightspeed. I want to say they were like medics. Like they had like ambulances over there, Power Rangers. But that was what was funny was Tommy always kept popping up, like
always.
So I mean, and that's what's kind of funny is like somebody asked me about it, and I was like, yeah, no, I mean it's really sad. Childhood legend, 2 weeks in a row. Childhood legend passes. It's rough for so many of us.
It literally was a new one every year.
Oh yeah, no, I mean that was the whole thing. Is, they're selling toys out the ass, man. I had to have the Morpher for the brand new ones every goddamn time. But yeah, I was Lightspeed Rescue, and then I can't remember. There was like something in space.
Lightspeed Rescue 2000 to 2001 was Lightspeed Rescue.
Oh yeah, see, that's like I was 5 and 6 years old, man. I'm fucking up. But then I remember Time Force, and then my favorite one was Wild Force. And that's the one that the Red Ranger like got arrested for killing somebody or something.
Wow.
Like a couple years ago.
I'm looking at them now.
But to your point, so you were always Red Ranger. I was always the Red Ranger until the fucking badass new one comes in that's an off color. And then I was like, oh, that's me all day. And so so that's the thing. So like Tommy shows up as the White Ranger. And he's like, you know, they've already had half a season or whatever it is, and then he shows up and he's the new one, he's the badass one, whatever. And that was like always my shit. Like I distinctly remember there being for Wild Force, it was a guy that he was like a bad Power Ranger, and then he ended up becoming good, and he was like, of course, silver or gray, and but before it he was black and like evil looking, and I was like, oh my god, this is what the fuck I want, like so bad. Like I was like, he's so legit. And like I probably could go home and still find his Morpher that was a wolf head, because Wild Force, they were phones, so they flipped open the phones and like would call like to fucking morph. It was fucking hilarious. But their Morphers were the shape of their animals. But yeah, Tommy was legit. The thing about it though is like somebody was asking me, and I was like, I mean, don't get me wrong, this is sad, but like Jason David Frank was a little weird with it. Like he never could give it up. And it's like, hey man, like we get it. Like you're the Power Ranger. Like we fucking know this. Like he's the only one anybody's like name any Power Ranger character's name. You've got Tommy and fucking that's it. And Ivanus. Like that's it. That's your two. Like that's all you got.
You got Tommy. You have Jason. You have
Jason. It's just fucking Jason. Like I can't. If I said Jason from Power Rangers, no one knows who the fuck that is. But everybody knows
Kimberly,
Tommy.
Billy.
Yeah, no. See, I don't give a fuck about them. like it's Tommy, and so that's the thing. So he always kept popping up. He was legit. He like made sure that was the case. But what I know him as is at every con, like you said, always about the fans. And like even though it was like for me it was a little weird. It was like, dang man, like he's the one that couldn't move on from this. But like at the same time, like he was passionate about it, you know. So I mean, I appreciated it, and definitely had plenty of good childhood memories from Power Rangers. Man, I was fucking obsessed for years and years and years with Power Rangers. So
it was amazing.
Yeah.
And the movie came out, and then
I've not even seen the movie.
What?
Yeah.
Okay.
I've heard it's pretty good.
Wild. Well, I guess it's not surprising. You haven't seen anything. But
I just didn't want to get disappointed because, like,
bro, it's so amazing. It's a perfect blend of just everything. It's so goddamn cheesy. It's like, yeah, my arteries feel all of this.
I don't need that.
What do you mean you don't need that? All Power Ranger.
That's why I don't want.
Cheesy.
That's why I don't want to watch the movie because I know it's fucking shit. Like it's not like it's good. It's just it was my childhood.
It was good. It was great. It's so 90s.
That's I don't like that.
So 90s.
Did you not hear that my first one was 2000? Like the first one I remember, like I wasn't even a part of the 90s. But
go back. That's history. Go back and revise.
But that's the thing though. Is like I remember. I can't remember which season it was. It might have been during Wild Force. But they had one. It was the first time they brought all the Red Rangers back, and like it was like a fucking thing. And I remember like losing my shit. And then they were like, okay, well now we got to step that up. And they started bringing back. So then like Tommy shows back up. Everyone like whatever. Because like I want to say he was at like one of the last ones I watched was like Dino Thunder or something.
Oh God, yeah,
it was
4.
Fuck it, yeah. See, that's how short of the time I was a part of that shit. But I was obsessed. I was obsessed during that.
The
but
last
like,
one was 2018. Oh God.
Oh
Ninja
yeah.
Steel.
Oh my God. It's fucking horrible. See, that's what I like. Lightspeed Rescue is a cool fucking name. Like it just like it's 2 words that make no sense, but it's like, oh fuck, like. Lightspeed Rescue. It's like that's a cool. That's the ones
that had like the weird shapes in their masks. Like it's a fucking kindergarten class.
Let me look that shit up. Well, going for their audience there. Lightspeed Rescue.
I remember Turbo the movie. Was Turbo the series where the Red Ranger was an alien?
Oh God, I don't remember. Oh my God, Lightspeed Rescue and their fucking jackets. Where they always just ride around in these red jackets.
Oh my God. And fucking Rangers in Space.
Yes, that's correct.
Lost Galaxy.
Yeah, those are all prior.
Time Force Wild. Ninja Storm. Dino Thunder. I remember seeing all these shit, but Mystic Force, what the hell?
Oh God, wait, Mystic Force might have been when I was like, all right, I'm out. But Wild Force was fucking legit.
What is this medieval looking shit? Oh God, Jungle Fury. Yeah, they look pretty
See,
crazy.
yeah, so Forever Red, Power Rangers Wild Force, they brought all the fucking Red Rangers back. I told you. I fucking remember that shit. It was dope as hell too.
Wild Force was all the Red Rangers, you said?
Yeah,
I see the lineup, yeah.
Oh my God, it's dope as shit. Like, I remember absolutely losing my fucking mind. And my favorite one being Wild Force was like, he was the one that brought them all together. I was like, oh, fuck me, man. Absolutely incredible. I mean, come on. And that's what's funny. It's like, that's fucking Endgame now. Like, but like back then, I was like, we're going to get all these guys that, they now work at fucking Walmart and we're gonna bring them back to be Red
Your
Rangers
best.
again.
Your best, stupid. Not
Oh,
Walmart. I
shit.
could imagine they get residuals off all those motherfuckers too.
Well,
I
yeah,
imagine
they
it's
ain't
not.
making much.
I mean, not over here. Maybe fucking cross
Good
season
point.
show
Good
Power
point.
Rangers is still insane.
But that's the so like but Wild Force was the best one because the bad guy had his own. So like you obviously had the 5 Power Rangers and they all had their own Zords that became Megazord. But then the bad guy showed up and he had 3 Zords to himself and they made their own Megazord and it was fucking dope, man.
Jesus.
He had a big ass fucking he had a wolf and like it was like a pterodactyl and then a big ass fucking alligator and the whole chest of
Fucking
his
alligator.
yeah, and his whole chest was the fucking alligator head like face down like this, but like it was his whole fucking chest in a big triangle, and that shit would open up and fucking like start munching, and oh my god, it was dope as shit. Like I just remember being all about it. Yeah, hilarious.
That's hilarious.
And I had all the fucking toys too. Jesus Christ.
I had all the originals, not like the newer ones. Cause I was checked out by then. I was like, okay, I'm okay. And then the most recent reboot Power Rangers. Remember Tommy and Kimberly being in that shit for like 2 seconds. I was like, oh shit.
Really?
There they are. Yeah, they make cameos.
That's funny.
So I was like, oh, good. Okay. And then Tommy got teased in an after credit scene, and it never happened ever again.
Shit.
Because it didn't get picked up. So it's like, well, damn.
Yeah, that's the way it goes.
All right. Well, anywho, RIP to a real one. May you kick heavenly ass up there and all the Megazords and Ritas and all of them that you can. Thank you for being a badass and, of course, contributing to my 90s. Anybody else in the fucking 90s? Do y'all want to like...
I know, man. Who's
take,
next?
or can we just let these people
He
rock?
he was too young to even think about because obviously self-harm, but like
Right.
I just don't need this, man. Like, what is Steve from Blue's Clues next? Like, don't fucking do this to me.
I hope not, because
He's
he
making
was
a
on
new
the radar
round
for a minute.
Like, yeah, he's making a new round. He's back. He's hanging out, but like, don't fuck with me, man. Like, come on.
Yeah, don't take away Steve, because that'll hurt.
Yeah.
But he has a new Blue's Clues movie out now. So
Oh, does he?
Oh yeah, it's their Power Rangers, so they have like all the main guys in this one movie.
How many have there been? I just remember
there's 3.
Okay, because I remember when Steve left, and he was like, "I'm going to college" or whatever, and I remember I was like, "What?" And then he's like
45,
and he's like, "Here's my cousin Joe," or whatever his name was. It was different color, and I was like, "Man, fuck Joe." I was like, I don't fucking like Joe.
It's the same shit. I was like, "What the fuck?" I was like, "Okay, yeah, I don't care about any of these dudes."
Exactly.
Yeah, cause I was saying he just had a video talking about that. He's like, "No, I'm not dead." This.
Oh
that,
yeah,
like,
yeah, exactly.
hilarious.
I saw that.
Yeah, and he makes complete fun of it. I'm like, "Oh, this dude's great."
That's right.
Not who I at all would expect after seeing Blue's Clues. I'm like, "Oh, you're so
that's
different, honestly." But
yeah, that's right.
But it's great, and I love it. Just dry humor, like, dude, like, y'all leave me the fuck alone.
Yeah, exactly. He's like, "Oh my god, you all grew up. Now you see me in public and fucking run up to me."
Right, absolutely.
He's like, "Y'all are 30.
Blues Clues, Blues Clues. Oh my god! Next week, Blue dies. Yeah, it's a lot. All right, what do you got?
I mean, what else do you want to talk about? You want to talk about Indy real quick?
We'll talk about the old man. Let's talk about Indy. So we got some Indy 5 picks, and a little birdie tells us that during the movie we're going to get a very de-aged Indy that apparently is going to be the best thing ever in life that anyone's ever seen, and oh my god, it looks so real. We'll see. They say that about every deep fake or de-aged, not deep fake, de-age that they drop. So maybe we'll see what more years under its belt, and with them getting that dude from who helped with the Mandalorian give new pointers or some shit. I don't know. we'll see. But what did they say the plot was? I know we got a picture of Mads Mikkelsen, which just looks like a bizarro Indiana Jones in this movie. I know it takes place in the 60s.
Right. So like that's what I was gonna say is
Look, when do these movies take fuck? I feel like it's been in the 60s or 50s for like 50 years.
Because first one was Nazis, right? I mean,
I think so.
Yeah. So oh, cool.
I don't give a shit.
I know. Yeah, you don't. But I've never seen I've never sat down and watched Indiana Jones. I have watched Chris Stuckman did like a deep breakdown on all of them, and I've watched those videos multiple times. So like I know
fan-made film of it too.
Yeah, that's correct. So like I know the stories, but like I've never actually sat down and watched them. So I'm going to, obviously. But the actual picture that excites me is apparently it's at the parade celebrating the Apollo astronauts. And so it's I think it's the guy from Logan, the bad guy with the metal arm from Logan.
Yeah, he's in it, yeah.
And he's on a motorcycle, and it's all the flags and there's confetti and stuff. And I'm like, okay, that seems like an interesting set, like, setting and time. Like because when I think of Indiana Jones, I think of in the jungle, running around with some dirt and trees, and that's it. And so like, I like the idea of him being more, getting to that modern time a little bit, because obviously he's gonna be old as shit. So
yes,
it is what it is. But at the end of the day, I can't wait to watch, Harrison Ford stumble around slowly and say some shit. I hope it's great. We'll find out. Great writer and director. So it'd be great.
Right. And he's gonna be with his goddaughter in this film and fighting Mads and passing the baton and trying to figure out a movie about a hero. It became important to me to figure out how to make this movie about a hero at sunset. So, yes, it'd be nice to see one more. Indiana Jones was at the end of his journey. So either this man's about to just kick the fucking bucket, or he's just going to literally walk off into the sunset and be like, cool.
I think he should. He's like, I'm a professor. I'm going to retire from both of my professions and just sit on the front porch and get all upset. Get off my lawn.
In my rocking chair.
Yeah.
In my whip. Like, sir, it's a bad times for that. Let's not do that. Let's put the whip down, sir. Put the whip down.
Like, do you not know? Have you heard of Martin Luther King, sir?
Yes, you're right in the heart.
We already know Indy hates Martin Luther King. Like, just a heads up, Indy's racist as fuck.
It's just, we'll see. I'm not excited about this movie by any means.
Right.
Will I see it? I don't know.
It all depends on trailers for me, honestly.
Yeah, maybe. I just don't have that connection to the character to care, like, the swan song and this and that. Like I said, I've seen all of them. The only one I kind of vividly remember is the fourth one. This
the terrible
Crystal Skull, because the shit was. I was like, oh my god, what is happening? That's really about it. So we'll see how that goes. And I'd see it just to see how many times I can see a Harrison double.
Oh god.
And how
every other shot.
And how much Shield's just gonna be like, I'm just barely moving and
unhappy to be here. Like
you'll get like 2 punches where it's him in screen where he's punching somebody, because he can throw a good punch, but that's about it.
That's As soon as he has to take off running, it's gonna be not.
It's gonna be rough. Because even at least Crystal Skull, like he's still older, but he was still like jacked Harrison and still running and doing shit. I was like, shit, cool.
You get to Force Awakens, old but fine. He's doing things, whatever. And then Blade Runner 2049, he had a full on fight scene with Ryan Gosling, and it was that I remember that being good.
It wasn't bad.
Bad. But this is
But like I said, that running was interesting.
lead. Like, yeah, he's the lead of this thing, and the whole point is that he's energetic and fucking
Right.
taking people out. Like, what?
Right. We're still trying to be comedic during fight scenes too, and give that fucking, very
Right.
Chaplin type fighting and all that shit. So we'll see how it goes. I don't know when we can expect a trailer, but
Apparently,
I'll be
it's
right there.
gonna play with Avatar, so we're getting one very soon, like the next couple weeks.
I guess. So I guess online, I'll end up saying it. But Mads looks great, as he always does.
I mean, yeah,
Like I said, he literally looks like a Bizarro Indy. Like that's
yeah, exactly. I mean, he's
in this
gonna
picture.
be another professor that's upset. I mean, he's just like, I'm at a different school and I don't like him.
Yeah, probably.
And I'm also a Nazi, and it's like, oh.
Wow, it's like more fucking Nazis. It's like, okay,
Yeah.
Jesus, got it. All right, should we say? Because I don't know much about it. Should Iger be here or be like its own little?
I mean, you can just do it right now.
Yeah.
Do you have a banner for it?
Nope.
I mean,
Oh, I do.
Let's just. Well, it doesn't matter.
But yeah, whatever. So we'll talk about this because it's not big, nothing really to dive into.
Yeah,
They didn't
correct.
say shit. So Bob Iger is back, taking over the reins for the world of Disney. A lot of people are very, very excited about this. To be honest with you, I wasn't paying attention enough to give a fuck to even know what was going on. But apparently, he was the best thing for them. So now everybody's happy that he's back.
Correct.
So what do you think that? And I guess that can bleed into the stuff about Quentin, which is Marvel and everything as a whole. Do you think this was a panic move? It's like shit's not looking great. We need somebody to come back and run this shit like it's supposed to, or what do you think this was?
Yeah, that's exactly what I think it is. Because on top of the fact that like it's not like Iger got fired, he resigned.
He was left, yeah.
And because the whole point was he was gonna try to go political and become a politician. And I'm guessing maybe he's like, Trump's coming back. I'm gonna just bow out for a little bit. I'll try next time. Let the craziness die down. But at the same time, from what I understand, so Bob Chapek, I guess is how you pronounce his last name. He's been in charge for 2 years, and I don't know about you, but personally, I have noticed a pretty big drop in quality in a lot of ways from what's been coming from Disney as a whole. Like, I mean, even just when it comes to the ideas of like releases, you got to remember like during the pandemic, all those like Pixar movies that went straight to Disney Plus, and like I saw somebody even talking about how this week you have Disenchanted, which is the sequel to Enchanted. Everybody loves Enchanted. I didn't realize that movie made over. That apparently Enchanted's great. I remember seeing it when I was a kid in school, but I don't remember it that well. But like that movie made over $300 million at the box office.
Oh.
They make a sequel, put it straight on Disney Plus, and it's like, that's not the wave. Like Hocus Pocus 2, straight to Disney Plus, and it's like, look, y'all should be getting some box office back. And so that's kind of my thing is apparently, so like, I'll just read you this is from New York Times. This is the first paragraph. That's all I'm going to read you. It says, Bob Iger, moved at light speed on 2 fronts in his first 24 hours as Disney's old chief executive. He sought to restore stability, getting the core executive team working together again, exuding a patriarchal sense of security in a company-wide email, while also announcing organizational and operating changes designed to honor and respect the company's creative engines, its movie and television studios. So, from what it seems, especially Pixar, I know for sure, a lot of the studios felt like, hey, things aren't going well. Like, we don't like how the decisions are being made, and apparently Bob Chapek was like the old-timey CEO, like less women, more this, more that, like, and Bob Iger's like, what the fuck's happening? Like, so I'm excited for this because at the end of the day, this is the guy that okayed things like Infinity War, things like Endgame, everything before that, things like Last Jedi.
And he was a smooth motherfucker. I'll give him that too.
Oh my God, yeah, that's what I mean. If he goes political, I'd be very intrigued to see, because he's a fucking sweet talking, easy to love kind of guy.
Yeah.
I feel like he'd be Republican, and I don't think he fits in that realm right now of like, I can't hear Bob Iger talking about abortion. I just don't know if that's going to work. But I'm excited for this because there obviously was because somebody else big got fired already immediately. And they're making changes. They don't like what they've been seeing. And I want to say, I don't know if I'm seeing it here, but I think he's only going to be there for like 2 years.
Yeah, it's not long.
But hey, I like it. I like that, seeing as I have not personally loved most of what Disney's put out in the last few years, this gets me excited to go, oh wow, they noticed and they fucking dumped their CEO and went back to the guy that was making shit I liked. So I was like, oh wow, that's kind of exciting for me. I obviously don't know shit about the behind the scenes. I don't know what he's actually going to change, but just when I hear those changes, I'm like, oh wow, that means they are actively wanting to make a change, and they reversed instead of replacing. And so they're reversing back to a time that I enjoyed. So I'm excited.
We shall see. Usher in the new phases.
Yeah.
Bring back Marvel of the old. We shall see. Obviously, I didn't feel as much disdain for this phase as you did, but obviously, I noticed quite the difference.
Yeah, correct.
For sure. And I don't know if because he's automatically like effective immediately. I was like, yeah. Like, right?
Yeah.
So I just don't know if maybe he had a decision on what we're about to lead into next as a first topic with, a new certain director for a movie that's been very troublesome as of late. So I'm very curious if he had a hand in that at all. But I'm curious. This intrigues me for sure. What this can bring in the future for Disney and Marvel and all that good stuff.
Because that's the other thing too, is like, don't get me wrong, like this excites me, but at the same time, my two big ones are Star Wars and Marvel. Star Wars has Kathleen Kennedy, Marvel has Kevin Feige.
Apparently Kathleen's leaving.
I'm probably happy about that because I haven't really liked what I've been seeing. And so that was kind of my point is, you're like bringing up Marvel, and it's like, I don't know how much Bob Chapek had in terms of decision making over Kevin Feige. Like, I feel like if Chapek had any brain at all, he would have been like, hey, Kevin, you've been killing it. I'm not going to step on your toes. I'll be here. Obviously I got to okay certain things, but like, if you're passionate about it and you say you believe in it, I'm going to okay it, is how I would feel like the situation would have gone. So if I find out 10 years from now, when a sequel to that big ass book over there that you can't see, the book of Marvel Studios, when that sequel comes out, and I learned that Bob Chapek came in and fucking derailed and made horrible decisions and stopped letting Kevin Feige run things correctly, that'll be incredible. And that also means we're going to have a decade of fucking great things coming our way right now. But I just I don't necessarily think that would be the case. I feel like Kathleen Kennedy and Feige run their shit. So I don't know if this is going to save Marvel and Star Wars for me necessarily. It's just maybe Iger's going to, come in and say, hey, think bigger, think like, how about we stop shooting unfinished scripts? Like, that's just rule number one. Like, let's just stop that. So I don't know. We'll see. I would love to hear that though, that Chapek was a piece of shit, and the stuff we've been getting from Marvel has been not the true vision. It'd be awesome.
He looks like he's one.
Yeah.
that's
right.
For damn sure. I was like, good God. So yeah, Kathleen is reportedly leaving before or shortly after ND5. So next year she's gonna be
okay.
I'm out, bitches.
Who takes the spot? Think it's Filoni?
Ryan Johnson. No. Probably Filoni. That's like the
Fuck, I
biggest.
wish.
That's like the biggest contender.
I just don't know if
that or
Filoni's that
Favreau.
side, but
Is that a Favreau?
because Kennedy's more of a producer, so I mean they might just give it to somebody I've never heard of, but
He might listen. They might fuck around and give it to Favreau. Same time.
I mean, do you think he wants that? You think he wants to run the business side too?
Depends on how much fucking money they give him.
That's a good point. That always
All
is.
he's literally been doing has been making Star Wars shit for the past I don't know how long now.
Yeah. But
so I don't care, dude. Take her place. Here's all this money, and just keep running it.
Just do your shit. Although I mean, I haven't loved certain things that have come from them, but what I will say is, if it was Dave Filoni, one person that Dave Filoni fucking adores, Ryan Johnson. So Ryan Johnson was the first director to let Dave Filoni come on set, help direct, get him behind the camera, all those things on the set of Last Jedi.
Yep.
I fucking love it.
And Ryan just recently was like, I really wish people would stop saying I had a fucking horrible experience.
Yeah, he's like, I love it.
Right. Like, I just want to do my shit, man.
I'm just making 50 mil over here on Netflix for no reason. Like,
right. Like, I'll just take a pause. Back. That's it, right? Shit. Yeah. But yeah, so we'll see. Iger's back. Let's see where Marvel goes from here. All right, I think that's going to do it for Out There in the World. I have nothing. I think your well is dry when it comes to this.
Yes, sir.
If you felt like we've missed anything or wanted to, further elaborate on any particular subject, please let it be known in the live chat or the comment section if you're watching this on playback, as we will.
True.
Go in and keep the conversation going there in all aspects. So please let it be known. All right. Let's get into our first topic of the day, and something that, again, I want to know if this was brought back tenfold by him, because this movie, and we'll talk about it.
Yeah,
Blade officially has a new director, and I think is he writing it too, or is it a separate writer?
No, it's a separate writer. Let me bring it up real quick. I got the.
Okay, got it. Director Jan Demange. Writer Michael Starberry. So we all know how I feel about this film, because obviously it's been very publicized that it's been going through fucking hell. Yeah. And they're shitting all over the tone, the grittiness of what this should be, all this good stuff. Only had like one fucking fight scene, just everything was horrible. Picked a director nobody fucking knew. So this gets announced, and not gonna lie, it made me upset again. So I'm like, so you just grabbed another writer to direct this fucking movie?
Oh, is that the case?
It is, but what's interesting, he's directed like some shows and small things, but it's what he directed that was like, okay, there's potential, even though it was just the pilot. So it really wasn't enough for me to go like, oh, okay.
Oh.
Lovecraft Country.
I've heard that's incredible. I did not realize he only did one episode.
Yeah.
Fuck.
So he just did the pilot. Now if it was the whole fucking show, then I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah, that's what I thought was the case. When you were talking, I was like, what the fuck? He's not happy about this? Now I understand.
No. Yeah, no.
And I'm nervous again.
Just the pilot. And Michael Starberry did When They See Us, which, I mean,
what is that?
Great. When They See Us was it Netflix? Based off of the Central Park 5.
Oh. Okay, got you.
Yeah. Ava's production and all that.
Yeah, I remember that now.
So yeah. So intriguing
I don't hate that.
Things.
Yeah, I don't hate that yet. I mean,
that's what I'm like, intriguing things for sure. But it like I said, it's just the fact of this is Blade. I don't want, naturally, obviously, you wanted somebody certified. It was like, who could handle this, that it's like, yes, go for glory, could knock it out for sure. You got it. but they keep getting like these very like I don't say small time, but essentially
Right.
kind of small
No, but
time.
like there are bigger name directors that are like, y'all got Blade on the fucking dock, like
Right.
and that's what makes me nervous is which they have a writer. Is this a new writer or is this the same writer?
A new writer.
So that's scary.
New writer.
But it's the thing of it makes me think many directors come in and they're like, y'all got Blade? Okay, show me the script that y'all are looking at. You know, obviously things will change, but I'm scared they're seeing the script and going, I'm not making that. Like, can we completely rewrite that? And they're saying, no, this is what we're doing. And they're like, all right, I'm out.
Yeah.
Because it becomes that thing of like,
well, remember, it's not even written anymore. Like, it's been completely scrapped. So it's being
is that
completely
true?
rewritten. Yeah, completely rewritten.
Oh my God.
From scratch. Yeah.
I just get nervous whenever they're like, oh, but the pitch that this director had is so incredible. And then I see the movie and I'm like, this is fucking awful. I'm like, that's the pitch? And y'all were like obsessed with it? And so like I want to hear like what was the real pitch and how did y'all fuck it up? Because you know, certain like in something like Eternals with Chloe Zhao, that is a big name director.
Yeah.
You know, big writer, came in, made a movie I'm not a big fan of. And so I have to kind of give it the same level of like, okay, fucking surprise me. Because something like Shang-Chi, while a bigger director than these, but like, I'm like, hey, that movie's good. Like, I enjoy that movie a lot for the most part. So at the end of the day, I think it's pretty much confirmed it's PG-13.
That's fucking stupid.
So you've got 2 years to kind of come to terms with that.
But here's the thing. They said the film is aiming for a dark and gritty tone.
Correct.
And should still release.
That's what I'm saying.
On September 6th. So you have to do a complete
rewrite.
An utter rewrite, but you still want to keep the same release date, which means rushed as fuck. Yeah. And not fully like no runovers, no do-overs. Like once it's it, I was like, we just gotta fucking go.
Right. Because that's the thing too, is weren't they supposed to like already be shooting before that director? So like,
but he backed up. He didn't like it. Mahershala didn't like the script.
Right.
And like he's like, I'm not gonna fucking start this until this is better.
Yeah. So I mean,
got rid of everyone.
And don't get me wrong, because it comes out 2024. So it's got time. You know, they can write for 6 months, shoot for 6 months, and have 9 months of post. I mean, that's not unheard of.
I guess.
But at the same time,
don't fuck up Blade, man.
It's just my whole thing is like, there used to be a time, and supposedly it's still the time, but I don't feel like it, where Kevin Feige would say, I've got the next 10 years planned out steadily, forever, 10 years ahead. And that always made me feel like, we already have an outline for the story of whatever movie's 10 years from now. And those movies that came out in, the Infinity Saga felt that way for the most part. Some were executed better than others, but like, it was like, this fit into this. And for a lot of them, you find out that wasn't the case. A lot of them, they just happen to fall in a good way or whatever. But now it really feels like they're like, oh no, we specifically take pitches and we let the directors do whatever they want. And we just have them do a couple tidbits to keep it, because that one character is going to be in the next Avengers movie and we need that to fit in, to the overall story. But like the fact that like fucking Eternals has a giant fucking monster coming out of the ocean. And it's like, we haven't heard shit about that. And we've had many projects.
There's a She-Hulk.
Right. It's like, oh.
There's a She-Hulk.
But I don't know, man. I'm interested. This is where maybe Bob Iger coming back changes some things around. Maybe things have been run differently. I'd love to hear that. I legitimately would love to hear at the next premiere Feige's like, we've kind of been handcuffed a little bit, but we're back to how we want to be, whatever. It just it frustrates me for someone who does not love Wakanda Forever as much as other people. If that is the case, I'm like, fuck, like I'm forever going to be like, what would it have been like with, the guy that was fighting for years to allow for female characters and black characters and getting knocked down in a lot of ways, because that's what Iger did. He was that guy that they wanted Black Panther originally, and the whole board was like, no, he's black. It's like, oh, I forget that y'all are rich white racists,
right?
But
forgot this is Disney.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but I would love for things to change up in a positive way, and hopefully we hear some things. That's what would be awesome. Because at the end of the day, like the Strange World, have you seen anything about that? This animated movie Disney coming out?
No, I've seen mixed.
So that's the thing, is I've heard
things.
It's not great, and that's kind of, it seems like that might be the last straw, because people are going, there's no fucking way we're releasing animated movies that are not great. Like that's the whole point, is like we knocked these out of the park. And to see how little, like it's got Jake Gyllenhaal as the main voice,
which I did not know that until I started seeing press. I was like, what the fuck?
But to see how little push it's getting, I'm like, that's just not a Disney thing to do. Like that's like,
oh, because it's a gay focused or centered character too.
So
that's probably like, yeah, we're just not gonna promote this one. We'll do every once in a while. We can let the queers figure out themselves and shit. My
right.
Jesus Christ.
They see the poster, it's colorful, they'll come see it.
Right. That's enough. They'll shut them up for a while, for another 5 or 10 years. I'm like, Jesus Christ. But we'll see. Like I said, Disney.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I just don't fuck it up. I'm just so over it.
I know.
Because like I said, it's hard for me to even be at this point. I'm just not excited for this movie anymore. Like you have to show me.
That's exactly
something.
how I feel.
Like
exactly.
And I shouldn't be feeling that way about fucking Blade.
Right. Because that's how, like, don't get me wrong. Ragnarok's better than Thor: Love and Thunder. I will always say that.
Oh, absolutely.
But I'm not the biggest fan of either. But especially Love and Thunder. And that even has like beloved director, massive success prior, full control, holy shit, get excited. Movie comes out and it's dog shit. I mean, it's bad. And for a beloved character, it's bad. It's really bad. And so and I also, did you see the thing that Chris Hemsworth wants to be done? And
I was just gonna bring that up.
I love that. Go ahead and just sign that.
I
just end
don't
it now.
love that because I don't want it to end with Love and Thunder, if that's going to be the case.
See, that's the problem though, is that's how Indiana Jones gets made. Like this fifth one's going to not be great, and it's because Crystal Skull was not great. And then they're just going to be like, well, we need you to come back and really send it off in the right way. He doesn't give a fuck. Hemsworth doesn't give a fuck. Just forget him. Like, he's got a daughter now, and it's great. Like, they're so happy, and they live forever after. Like, I'm good, man.
Yeah, that's cute and all, but I just want a better send off than that. I don't want Taika back for it, as much as that pains to say, but
exactly, it sucks.
Love and Thunder was definitely like, hey, buddy, you put your dick way too far out on the table, buddy.
Right? You don't care.
Some restraint. Yeah, this one was true. Like, I don't care, because even I know you don't think this, but I think Ragnarok was fucking great. It was definitely a step up, one of the more successful Marvel films for sure, and that was him to just get his foot in the door, like, okay, I can do this. But then when he got ultra ass successful because of that, he was like, yeah, dude, I'm gonna just fucking do it.
Right. It's like, we're having threesomes on set, we don't give a fuck. Like,
absolutely.
I mean,
I just want to make this movie to piss all of you off, and that's what he did.
He trumped it. He got office and was like, now I'm gonna show y'all it's all bullshit. Like, fuck you guys, I'm gonna burn it to the ground. It's like, maybe y'all shouldn't.
That's-
Why'd y'all go see my movie, you dumbasses? Like, it's kind of what it felt like. So I don't know,
It's very true. There was, and it sucks because it's good. Because obviously, it's good things that are in there that I wish
sure.
were continued and not
Tidbits. Yeah.
annihilated or killed. That I wish can bring over to better properties in the future, like gore and stuff like that. Like, I to this day hate that he was a fucking one-off character. I really do. There was so much potential in some of the best parts of the films when he was on screen.
Correct.
I'm like, why the fuck did y'all just kill him? But it's Marvel. Hopefully they'll be like, hey Christian, here's a bag. I know we killed you off in this one, but hear me out. So we'll see. I don't know. I hope that's the case. Because I love me some gore. Okay. So there's that. Blade. Figure it out, y'all. Figure it out. Just don't fucking disappoint me any goddamn more, please. All right. So keeping it Marvel, because this is clearly just a marvelous fucking show. There's a new. Do you want to call him old school or classic veteran director coming for the throat of Marvel? Yet again, catch it seems to be the cool thing to do these days. Quentin of the Tarantino is making waves and dividing the internet and the actors themselves, because he himself was on a podcast, The Two Bears One Cave, essentially talking about Marvel, and he said some shit, and he wasn't the only one, and he mentions that he wasn't the only one to say some shit like this about the state of Hollywood and how there are no movie stars left because everything is Marvel fucked. So I quote, after Jennifer Aniston made some headlines because she's declaring there's no more movie stars, apparently that's a thing everyone's talking about, Quentin Tarantino took to the podcast and he says he attributed the loss of movie stars to the Marvelization of Hollywood. Part of the Marvelization of Hollywood is you have all these actors who have become famous playing these characters, but they're not movie stars, right? Captain America is the star, or Thor is the star. I mean, I'm not the first person to say that. I think that's been said a zillion times, but it's like, you know, it's these franchise characters that become a star. Captain America is a star, not Chris Evans. I'm not putting them down, frankly, to tell you the truth. But that is one of the legacy of the Marvelization of Hollywood movies. So, essentially, him and apparently a whole bunch of other actors are like, listen, there are no more movie stars left. Marvel is fucking this industry into a coma, apparently. And the characters that they play are the stars versus the actors who play them. Now, it's kind of hard to. I'm kind of gray. I'm Luke in this situation, because when this happened, obviously a lot of people are picking up some shit because even Anthony Mackie himself, a lot of video of him going around speaking kind of the same language a bit. Did you see that video?
No.
Of him? Oh. So apparently at some jacket, Anthony Mackie was basically talking about the death of the movie star. And now he was like, Anthony Mackie is not a movie star. The Falcon is a movie star. Like, people don't make movies like, you know, they used to anymore. Like, you can't make like the Arnolds, the Sylvesters, the Halloweens, all this major films that people go into drive because it's their movies. You can't make those movies today. So, and then on top of that, I haven't been going down anybody else's Twitter to be like, oh, what are Marvel actors saying? But Simu, good old Shang-Chi himself, had a lot to say about it, actually. He tweeted, let me see. Oh, got it. If the only gatekeepers to movie stardom came from Tarantino and Scorsese, I would have never had the opportunity to lead a 400 million plus movie. I'm in awe of their filmmaking genius. They are transcendent auteurs, but they don't get to point their nose at me or anyone. No movie studio is or ever will be perfect, but I'm proud to work with one that has made sustained efforts to improve diversity on screen by creating heroes that empower and inspire people of all communities everywhere. I love the Golden Age too, but it was white as hell. So
True.
it's very true. So that's what I say I'm great, because there's a lot of points here, and I'm more on the majority of on the side of Simu a little bit, only because it's just like when you have all these directors who have been constantly coming from Marvel, it's just honestly hate at that point. The movie star aspect, I'm like, okay, I kind of
Yeah, he's right.
their sides, right? To it, other than Martin and all these other old white directors, like, fuck it, my movie only did 20 million. It's all Marvel's
Right.
fault. It's like,
That's
fucking,
correct.
no, bitch, what are you talking about? But Simu does bring up a good point, because if it still was the time that they're referring to and and all that, you wouldn't see Shang-Chi, you wouldn't see Black Panther,
Sure.
you wouldn't see all these things, and then I thought about it, because, like I said, the gray area is like, you know what? He could possibly be right, Tarantino, because, like, if these actors outside of Marvel has had a lead film of their own, it's not the successful criteria as the same as Marvel. I'm not going to say they're not successful, because that's nonsense.
Right.
But it's not to the level of a Marvel or
Yeah, correct.
some other type
It's
of
the
shit.
it's the studio that gets the, the recognition. It's not the actor. Studio makes the
Right.
actor.
Right. And it's
So
the characters they play. Right.
Right. So I mean, I got to be honest. Like, I actually watched this podcast yesterday because this is Tom Segura. It's my favorite comedian. I went and saw him live, watched him film a special, all those things. And on a different podcast of his, he was like, or actually it was on Steve-O's podcast. He said, yeah, I've got fucking Tarantino on next week because they're buddies. And he's like, don't ask me how the fuck I got him to be my friend. It's insane. He's like, it's fucking Quentin Tarantino. It's insane. But Tom's just like talking. He's like, okay, well, I got to ask you about, movies today. And he's like, you were just recently quoted saying how the 80s were so horrible. And, talking about the golden age. And, I think he said 50s and 70s are the best decades of movies ever. And he's like, then 80s were horrible. And he's like, so you had that quote. And Tarantino's like, yeah, the 80s were the fucking worst. And he's like, well, how do you feel about, movies today? And he's like, oh, they're way worse than the 80s. He's like, but he's talking about everything. And Tom's the one that's like, well, how do you feel about Marvel? And that's the I mean, Quentin, that's the whole point. It kind of goes to the story we just were talking about. Marvel doesn't care about the director. Like, you give Scorsese $400 million and he goes and makes The Irishman for Netflix, and it's horrible. Super slow. Nobody's going to watch it. And you didn't even get box office for that. And that's what Tarantino wants. That's, even somebody like Del Toro, like, oh, I'll do Hellboy 3, but I need this budget. And they're like, it won't make that. We're sorry, we can't do it. And he's like, wow, way to fuck over the artist. And it's like, no, man. Like, this is a business first. And yeah, Marvel makes Simu is correct, but also at the same time, I would not know Simu's name if he was cast in Scorsese or Tarantino's movie. Like, I wouldn't know him like I know him. And so I don't know. I feel like this Tarantino thing is being blown out of proportion in terms of the people getting all upset, because he's not wrong at all. At the end of the day, there are no movie stars besides Tom Cruise, obviously. He's the only one.
Let's say The Rock's a movie star.
Okay, sure.
Tom Cruise. I think that's it. Tom Cruise and The Rock.
I do think Tom Cruise is twice the movie star. Like, The Rock, it's
Tom Cruise.
I know, but like, I'm just saying, like, The Rock gets put somewhere and like they have fun, but like Tom Cruise is the one that's like, oh no, here's what we're doing. Like, he's the one, he's the fuel. Whereas
The Rock's not there yet. He's getting there.
Correct. Yeah. Although Black Adam is not good. I love The Irishman. It's one of my favorite movies of 2019. Congrats. It's not mine. It's not good.
I still
Barely
to this day
finished
have
it.
not seen that movie, and I
Yeah.
never planned on seeing it.
I mean, I watched it the day it came out, and I barely got through it. Like,
yeah, it looked like it, and I think that was at a point I was at an F Scorsese because he was on that bitter shit. That's when it all started. I'm like,
Scorsese was more rough on Marvel than Tarantino is currently.
Oh yeah.
But also what Scorsese said is what Marvel has become, which is kind of funny in a lot of ways. But
well, it's just I don't know, I don't mean to cut you off. I'm just tired of people blaming. Like if they're a failure, it's like blame Marvel. It's like, huh?
But that's the thing though, is Tarantino was literally asked, well, how do you feel about Marvel? Like he didn't bring it up.
No,
you know, so
I get that, but he still used the Marvelization of things as to why there aren't.
Well, but that's what I'm saying. Is he's also talking about DC. He's talking about he's talking about superheroes. He's talking about. I mean, that's what's kind of interesting is Black Adam did not make the money that The Rock-led movie should make, and it's got both. It's got superheroes and The Rock, and it somehow didn't work. So like, what I think. Tarantino looks at it, the Marvelization, what that really means is truly making movies as a business. And the money talks about franchise, connecting stories, and superpowers. Like that's all that those three things are what all studios are trying to do. And that is the opposite of what he does. He makes standalone, expensive, artistic, R-rated movies. That are not diverse. If you want to bring Simu into it, he's correct, for the most part. And I'm not the biggest Tarantino fan, period. And I will admit I haven't seen a lot of his movies, but the ones that I have seen, very similar to Scorsese's Irishman, where I'm like, wow, this is long and boring. Like, it's interesting. Like,
I won't say boring, but they are fucking long.
Like Hateful Eight, I remember like falling asleep in the fucking theater, and that was like, I think that was the first Tarantino movie I went to see in the theater.
I'm sorry, because that you literally took it right out of my mouth. I was about to say it. That's the only Tarantino film that is boring as shit. I was like, this is dragging. I'm like, why are we here?
Yeah,
he's only had 2 shit movies for me, and I would even say Hateful Eight is shit.
No,
it's just like, dear God, like move it along.
Like take an hour off of this, and this movie flies and is crazy fun.
Yes, it is. And then there's another one he did called Death Proof for the Grindhouse features. That shit was boring as hell. I'm like,
oh really?
It's like the last 10 minutes when it decided to like, oh shit, okay, here we go. Yeah. And I was just so disappointed because I'm like, wow, this is Quentin fucking Tarantino, man.
Yeah.
Because his movies are fucking amazing. So it's like I can definitely say they're long. They're all fucking long.
Correct.
But those are the only ones that feel it, that you actually feel it. Because like the Kill Bills, the Inglourious Bastards, Pulp Fictions. Oh God. That stuff is fucking great.
I've literally never seen either of those 3 movies, which is crazy. But I bought Inglourious Bastards. I need to watch it. But golly, this guy just fucking loves everything that we know. I mean, good grief, man. Death Proof is great. Okay, sounds good, man.
Oh God.
Like, but all I can say is, as someone who's not a big Tarantino fan, he told some really cool stories on Two Bears. He has no business being on there. Because that's literally last week. Tom gave Bert Kreischer for his birthday Hitler's teacup. Like, he went on the black market and bought Hitler's teacup as a joke.
Hey, there he is.
To give I've seen Django. Not a big fan of that fucking movie. Like, I really did not like that movie. Yeah. Oh my God. And that's the thing, is I watched it after it came out, and everybody was like, this is one of the greatest things ever. And I watched it and I was like, I
It's a
really,
good movie.
not a fan. But that's the thing is, from what it seems like, I'm just not made for his type of movies, and that's why I'm scared to watch some of them. Although Inglourious Bastards, from what I've heard, is the easiest to like.
It's fucking incredible. I
yeah.
love it. Christoph Waltz alone. Is
Right,
just
that's
like
what I've heard.
movie.
But on the best story he told, which like if Walker's still in the chat, because Pulp Fiction is one of Walker's absolute favorites. It's iconic, of course. But he tells the story of Bruce Willis becoming a part of Pulp Fiction. And it's a phenomenal story because Bruce Willis was The Rock and Tom Cruise of that day.
Yeah.
And, you know, he was like, oh, I had a laundry list of actors that I wanted to get pre-approved by the studio. And
Roth and Johnny.
And yeah, and he's like, I had so many. If I didn't have a list, I would have to continue to go back to the board. So instead I gave him a list of 50 people that I would like. And so we were going through casting and whatever. And basically he did not know that Bruce Willis was a huge fan of Reservoir Dogs and asked the studio for Tarantino's next script whenever he's got it. And so they gave it to him without telling Tarantino. And he basically stalks Tarantino and finds him at a party and is like, hey, I need to talk to you. I read your script. And he's like, oh, Reservoir Dogs. And he's like, no, I saw Reservoir Dogs a million times. He's like, I read Pulp Fiction. And he's like, what? Are you serious? And he's like, I'm absolutely obsessed. And and he's like, I gotta be in it. And he's like, I need to be John Travolta's character. What's the guy's name?
Oh, Valentine.
Yeah. He's like, I need to be that guy. And he's like, I wrote that for Travolta. And he's like, oh, he's like, okay. Yeah, he's like, I don't want to step on Travolta's toes. He's like, that's a great pick. He's awesome, you know, whatever. And he's like,
oh, it's not Valentine. Vincent Vega. Sorry.
okay. And he's like, then let me be Jules. And he's like, I know Jules is black, but like, I'll just make him white. I'll talk the same. He's like, that's how I talk with my friends anyway.
Like, whatever. This was back at prime racist.
Exactly. And he's like, I'll think about it. And calls him the next day and is like, I can't do that. And he's like, but you need to play this guy. And he's like, read it again and think about that guy. He's like, there's a third lead in this movie that no one knows about. And so that's how that ended up, you know, they got the biggest star in the world to like make a surprise. Like you're halfway through that movie and you find a third lead that's fucking insane. And it's Bruce Willis. So I loved that story. It was really cool to hear. And he told some interesting ones. The only thing I can say is it's like an hour and a half long podcast. Tarantino is the most stressful fucking person to listen to talk. Like he is loud and like Tom will be like, well, yeah, so how about this? And he's like, well, yeah. Like cuts him off and is like, I got something that I'll say about that. And it's completely, and I was like, my blood pressure was like through the fucking roof. And you could even see, there's a moment where
he's a very focused guy.
Tom like looks over at his people in the booth and he's like, like they just like they zoom in on him and they're like, because Tarantino's looking down and is like making a point and like thinking about it hard, and they just zoom in on Tom and he's like, I'm just letting him go. like what the fuck. And so yeah, it's interesting, but it was a great conversation. And yeah, this Marvel thing is funny because at the end of the day, I don't know of another director off the top of my head that's like this. Like Spielberg. I don't see Spielberg coming and making a Marvel movie now. He's like, I've done my franchise stuff. This doesn't fit my vibe. And as soon as someone says that, you know, he's like, oh, they don't like Marvel? It's like, that's not the point. I mean, at the end of the day, Marvel's trying to save on payroll and so they can pay CGI. Like, that's where we're at now. So
yeah, I don't know. We'll see. That's the same interview he said about people saying he puts nigga too much in his movies.
Is that what he says?
Oh, this man says nigga a lot in every film. Like he says it about like billions and billions over like his characters.
Yeah. Over
even
the top.
himself, Django was the most used to this day of the word
Oh yeah.
big in a movie ever. But no, a lot of his films, he just throws it around there, and people are like, "Why do you love that so much?" And he's like, "Listen, obviously this movie is not made for you, so get the step."
Yeah.
Because I remember I first started questioning that too. But I was like, I'm just gonna stop. Like, this man loves the word nigga a little too much.
Correct. He's just a weird ass fucking guy, man.
He
Like
is.
that, and that's one thing too is so he's supposed to make one more movie because he's only doing 10. And Tom asked him about that, and he's like, "Well, I just wrote a
He
book."
has a series though.
Yeah. So that's the thing. So he wrote this book, and he's like, "I've been working on the book. I'm not thinking about a movie." And Tom's like, "Okay, well, like, do you have an idea for the movie?" And he says, "No, I haven't even thought about it at all. No idea." And he's like, "But I did write a series, and it's like kind of breaking news on Two Bears. Like, I wrote a series." And so it is kind of funny. It's like, okay, that's an easy cop out. But it was funny because Tom's like, Tom loves his movies, and so he's like, "No ideas for a movie?" And he's like, what? How long does it take you to write a movie usually? And he's like, "I don't know." He's like, I don't. He's like, because I just get ideas and I take off, and he's like, it's not like I'm excited to retire. He's like, I don't want to make my last movie. I just said I'm making 10 and I have to now. And he's like, I'm not gonna rush. He's like, I might wait a decade. Like, he's like, I'm completely not. And so it was kind of cool to hear him like, he's like, quit trying to push me out. It's like, I said this, I got to keep my word, but like, come on. But
I remember he also said he believes Once Upon a Time is his best fucking movie. I was like, oh,
yeah,
I was like,
oh my
really?
God, I forgot that's him. I hate that movie. And Walker loves that movie, and that's great for him. But like,
that's another one. Thank you. Oh my God, that movie was like, what the fuck?
Boring as shit, man. Like, I'm sorry, but
until the last like 10 minutes,
and then it just goes.
It
jumps the shark, and I'm done. Like, I don't. And that was one thing too. Was Tom was like, so what about your trilogy of revenge? Like at the very end of the movie, you go crazy, and he's like, oh yeah. He's like, I think I'm done with those. He's like, my 10th movie won't be like that, whatever. And so I don't know. It was interesting to hear him talk, but that's if you bring somebody in to a podcast that has nothing to do about movies, but they're one of the biggest directors in the world, you have to ask what the big thing is. Get to ask questions about that. So you're going to ask about Marvel movies or movies in general today. And guess what? This guy's been making movies for a long time that general audiences don't usually connect with very well. You really think he's going to be big on Marvel? Like, no, he's trying to make some artsy movie for way too expensive for no one to see and still be beloved. And that's not what the world is right now.
For no one to see. You don't think people see Quentin Tarantino movies? Compared
to Marvel movies?
Oh, yeah,
that's the whole. That's what I'm talking about. Is the whole thing is there's a reason why Scorsese and him are like. That's why he's like, I wrote a series probably for Netflix, and it's like because.
I hope it's not for Netflix.
I know. I immediately know I'm not gonna watch it. That's what's nice.
I hope it's not like give it Apple TV or like Paramount or some shit.
I'm good,
but not fucking Netflix. Jesus, don't do that, please. But we'll see. I don't. Like I said, I didn't take it as a huge complete knock because, like I said, he was not exactly speaking something foreign here. Right. Like I said, I see both sides of the coin for sure. But it's just rough. It just sucks that that's a comparison that filmmakers go to or started, and now everybody, like you said, is like, yes, what do you think about Marvel? It's like, well, let them do their fucking job. I don't give a shit.
Right. He's like, they haven't called me, so I'm not a big fan. Like, right.
But he just say, I'm not a person who needs a job or a hand me down or some shit like that. I was like, oh god damn.
So that's the thing too. So that is exactly what I got from his words. So talking about the this we can move on after this. We've been talking about it for a little bit, but talking about no movie stars, he's correct. And like when he was talking about making Pulp Fiction, he's like, I had to have this list of actors to get okayed. And he's like, the problem is I needed at least 2 or 3 actors it's a big list, but it had to coincide with my list for actors that were big enough in the studio's eyes to let me make this movie that they don't like the script for.
Yeah.
And he's like, and so that's kind of his point is
that's Hollywood.
Now the power used to be in the actor's hands and in the director's hands. And unless you are now a Tarantino, a Scorsese, or a Nolan, or Spielberg, you better play up to whatever the next franchise is. I've got a pitch for that. I've got, whatever. That's how you're going to make it now, for the most part. And so he's like, I'm an old guy and I miss how it used to be, where he's like, a studio was stupid enough to give me X amount of dollars and I became super famous and now I can make any movie I want. And, that's not the times anymore for other people. So he's like, I feel a little bad, and I'm sad about it. And it's understandable because at the end of the day, most of the people are not seeing Scorsese's next movie. Like, they're not going to run out to the theater to see that. But they are going to go see, Thor: Love and Thunder 3 times. And I would love to watch them two watch that movie together on a couch. That movie would make more than both of their movies combined. Like,
can you imagine they watch it and they fucking love it? It's like, I thought it was fucking great.
This is unbelievable. Best
right. Beautiful comedic blend. Taika just gets it. It's just like everything. Just
they should actually that could be a funny like YouTube thing where they just pretend to love like all the worst moments of Marvel.
Well, they'll just sit them down and be like, what? Like if a famous director is like, you know what? I'm at the point in my life where motherfucker, I'm him. So I can take some time to do a little YouTube channel, sit me down and watch Marvel and DC films and get my true take on them and see how I feel. Just watch them, be like, this is dog shit, or whatever it may be. I think would be hilarious. It's going to cause a lot of problems.
Yeah. They have to not be wanting to work any longer.
Yeah,
but that's one thing too, though, is anytime somebody talks about this stuff, they never bring up Nolan. They never bring up the Dark Knight trilogy. They, it's always about, because really Nolan is a big reason why things are happening like this. He made great films that happen to be superhero movies, and, that's what's kind of funny is they're like, but
you did change the game. Yeah.
And they don't want to bring that up because Nolan's a fucking director. Like he's the real fucking deal.
Yeah.
And so they're like, shit, like we can't bring that up. But also
say my name, bitch. Say my name. I dare you.
Exactly. They're like, he still makes more money. He actually does make more money than us at the box office without being a franchise.
Yes.
So
which is power.
So a little rough there, my guy. Maybe shut the fuck up and just maybe think about going outside your box and making something that you think more people will enjoy. Like,
right.
Because Joker,
boring ass fucking shit.
Joker, boring, slow, Scorsese-esque, fucking phenomenal. Like, Scorsese has to be furious because he's like, somebody just copied my fucking shit, named it Joker, and it's great, and it made $1 billion goddamn dollars.
That's still
mind-blogging. Oh my, what?
It's like,
I don't understand that.
$1 billion.
Like, I think I did see it twice, but like, I think I saw Top Gun and the Batman 6 times. Like, come on now.
Oh yeah, I've literally seen that movie one time, and I have not seen it again since.
I just saw a clip on when he blows the brains out of what's his face?
Oh, Murray.
Yeah, and I'm like, God, that movie's fucking great.
Fucking deserve.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's not one of those movies that have rewatchability. Man, it's like once was enough. I got it. Cool.
Twice was it for me. Where like I could rewatch it now because it's been long enough. But the first time was I was like, oh my God, I'm just taking this all in and whatever. And then I needed to go see if it was really that good again. And it is. And the performance is great. And he won fucking Best Actor. And
Two Jokers.
Yeah, and guess what? It was based on Martin Scorsese, and it's
It
like
wa-
that's funny, man. That's funny as shit.
That is a lot. You saw
'Cause-
Batman and Top Gun 6 times, huh?
I think so. Maybe
How
4
many-
times.
How many times did I see Top Gun? I'm trying to think. What's the most movie I've seen so far this year?
I saw whatever it is. I saw them the same amount. So, which that is funny too. I need to Walker, if you're watching this. I did get this. Someone I know works at Lockheed in Fort Worth.
Oh, that's fucking dope.
And this is where they made, like, if you've watched the special features, they made this jet
I
in
just watched them
Lockheed.
the other day.
And so, like, the people that work there got a poster for it. And from what I understand, that's the only, and she, like, gave me hers. So that's pretty dope. I'm very happy.
2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so you got me one up. I've seen Top Gun 5 times.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
problem is I know I saw it. Okay, I can look at my app here because I know I saw it at a different theater than AMC, but I can at least look here.
5 times. I've seen Woman King 3 times. I think, how many times have I see the Batman? Twice. Okay, I've only seen Batman twice. Oh wow.
You only saw the Batman twice?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, I think I saw it 5 times.
And Wakanda 3. So 3 Woman, 3 Wakanda, 5 Top Gun, which makes sense because I wore that movie the fuck out.
Top Gun
What
is
was
so
that?
rewatchable. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it makes no goddamn sense. But another one which surprised it made that much, but after I've seen it, I'm like, this makes sense. But Joker will still forever be.
Oh my god. Yeah.
Like how? But it just points back to that. But I keep forgetting that we still have this other fucking shit to talk about. I completely forgot. So I was like, oh yeah.
Wait,
hey,
which one?
Avatar.
Oh, this isn't even a big topic. I forgot. We shouldn't have made it so
Yeah.
deep in the show.
True, I forgot, but whatever. It's not a big topic, but I dead ass forgot, and I thought, okay, this is our last segment.
Yeah,
Cool.
correct. No, and we can
Oh,
end now
fuck.
if you want, but I actually kind of do want to talk shit to some Avatar people right quick.
Yeah,
So let's go ahead.
I do. Let's talk about Avatar. Okay. So, a lovely little shit. I didn't even put a fucking banner up.
All right,
Okay,
here,
hold on.
I'll make one real quick.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, go ahead. So I'll lead it up. I'll set it up.
Yeah.
So, a wonderful little trailer to a movie that's just so fascinating and the best thing ever in life. Dropped its third and final trailer. Yesterday, I believe, and that lovely trailer would be. I thought you were gonna say some kind of wise ass shit. Avatar.
I'm good. They
Trailer
don't deserve
dropped.
anything special.
That's fine.
Did you watch it?
Absolutely not. I did not watch it at all.
God, your hate for it is so funny.
Yeah, I didn't watch it at all. But you did, and
That's correct.
and it's actually funny because I want to say this. I'm curious. I'm just very curious to see because it also came out that it has to be
Yeah.
the 4th or 5th
Yeah.
biggest film of all time, which had to be in the 2 billions to even remotely break even. I'm like, that's just not gonna happen.
Not even remotely close.
At all. But this just pure overhype and nostalgia at this point. But it's funny because literally every viewing that I've seen Black Panther, it played the new trailer or whatever. Every time that trailer came on was met with it's so fucking stupid.
Really?
Yes.
Oh,
Like
that's funny.
laughing, making fun of it every single fucking viewing I went to. I was like, this is great. People just could not stand. They were completely over it. So I remember tweeting it. So I was like, I really want to see what these like ticket numbers are gonna be because that's
Right.
been released. because I ain't hear of shit crashing. I ain't hear of shit
Oh,
doing
no.
anything. So I'm like, well, there's a sign right there.
Yeah, let me look them
But
up.
like, I didn't see if they released any fucking numbers of like, hey, what the ticket sales do. Because usually, if they're so gung ho, like they're forcing it down everyone's fucking asshole and throats,
Correct.
they'd be like, oh, this movie just did blah, 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 the best movie ever fucking. You excited? It's like, what? So I'm guessing it didn't do that crazy. Because they're not throwing it out everywhere.
Yeah, let me see here. Well, let's go to yours, actually. Yours will be a big test.
My what?
Your theater, which doesn't make sense, actually, because your theater only has... Lincoln Square only has a 10:45 p.m. IMAX screening of that on Thursday. It doesn't have normal 7 or the other ones are 3 o'clock.
Well, because the movie's also fucking over 3 hours long.
Yeah, that's true. But so the biggest theater in Dallas, this is insane, honestly. The biggest theater in Dallas is North Park, and this is the 7:15 screening. So it's actually still got a lot to fill up.
Oh yeah, it does.
And the thing is, there's also 3 o'clock. Here's 3 o'clock. Why are you doing 3 o'clocks? That's ridiculous. Ain't nobody. But anyway, I let's talk about tickets for a second.
Yes.
I'm annoyed.
I'm trying to see if there's any.
Yes, I 100% understand that James Cameron made this movie to be seen in 3D. I fully get that. You cannot force it on me. And I think that's ridiculous to force someone. Because at the end of the day, there are people.
So probably James Cameron's forcing shit on you.
There are people out there that, whether they have special needs, whether they are disabled in some way, just how about people with glasses? We don't want to wear fucking glasses. Like, I am the perfect person for this. I have a long, overly skinny head and good vision without glasses, and I still fucking hate the glasses. They hurt my head, and my head's skinny. They squeeze my head too much. So if you have a round ass head, you're gonna be in more pain than me. And I don't wear glasses. If anyone I'm bringing wears glasses, they're out. I would love to know if Kenya would even obviously I don't think he cares about this, but I don't think he would say yes to this. He's like, oh, it's 3D. I'm not wearing the glasses. Because he wears glasses. And I really, really think that's a dumb move. I think it will hurt box office. And I can damn near guarantee that by that second weekend, they will have 2D IMAX showings. And unless the movie really is fantastic, it's going to be too little too late for me. But with that being said, we have the trailer. The trailer's fine. It's good. I'm actually excited for the movie. Not excited for the runtime, but I am excited for the movie. I liked the first one a lot, especially after going and seeing it again. I actually kind of love it. I think it's great. Only problem is the 3D. I legitimately despise the entire 3D experience.
Yeah, it's the last 3D movie I ever saw, actually.
Yeah, and I mean, that was the other thing, is I went to see the re-release of Avatar, and had to be 3D. If I wanted to see it in IMAX, had to be 3D. And I hated it. Absolutely hated it. But with that being said, the trailer's fine. I just want to kind of talk about my fucking comment section, because it was hilarious as fuck. And I was dogging some fucking people. It was so funny. Because sometimes, last night, apparently I was on one last night, so it wasn't the time to be stupid to me. Because I had a blast. I really did have a blast. But basically, I had people that I just spoke about. I was like, this trailer's fine. It wasn't as good as I expected, because I thought they were really going to try to sell this movie this time around. But it's really just a lot of quick action mixed in with the one boring moment that I've already seen pieces of, which is the kid avatars in the water. And there's a lot of that again. And I'm like, I don't know why they keep showing this scene. And that's not bad necessarily, but like when we saw the re-release of Avatar, the whole thing was at the end. If you stay after the credits, there's a sneak peek to The Way of the Water, and I was like, oh shit, what are they gonna show? And they showed like a 4 or 5 minute scene of just swimming in the water and like slow and like pretty, and I'm like, motherfucker, sell me, like give me an action sequence.
They're not going to.
Or give me a fucking like rile the troops like in just beautiful, like no, it was boring, and I was like, that's so surprising.
That's all they're going for is like, here, look at our visuals. Here you go. That's all this fucking movie is. That's all the first fucking movie was.
I'm just gonna go through a couple of my comments because they're funny. So one of them is, trust me, the IMAX 3D version is mind blowing. The story is bigger and better. The less you know going in, the better. And I said, oh, wow, when did you see the film?
Right.
And no reply. I mean, of course, they didn't see the fucking movie. They're just like, so basically my point is, apparently there are Avatar or James Cameron Snyder cult. I got bombarded.
Yeah.
With like, wait, so you didn't love this trailer? This is the best trailer ever. And I'm like, what? So literally, differences of opinion. I think this looks incredible. This looks freaking incredible. Let's go. Oh my god, this is so good. Okay, let me see if I could find... Okay. It really doesn't sound like you're that into the franchise in the first place. Of course, the second movie will be in 3D. That was a given. And then, like, in the trailer, at the end of the trailer, it was made to show it on Monday Night Football. So it makes sense, but at the same time, it threw me the fuck off. So you watch this full 2-minute trailer, and at the very end, it shows the nice, pretty logo, and then it's got the trailer voice where it goes, Avatar, The Way of Water, in theaters, blah, blah, like, and it's like that super deep, and I was like, what the fuck? And like, it threw me off. I was like, way to take me completely out of like the immersive experience. And so I brought that up, and so this guy said the trailer narrator voice was fine. This trailer actually got me excited to see this movie. Maybe you shouldn't force yourself to go and see it in theaters. Maybe wait for online release. And I said, I was like, I'm very in, like, I'm one of the few people that went and saw the re-release. Like, I'm obviously intrigued and want to see this, and you're telling me to wait for online. And like, he's like, obviously it'll be in 3D. And I'm like, yeah, obviously. That doesn't mean I want to see it in 3D. Like, give me the option.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, like, if I'm a father, like, if I have a 9-year-old son, I should want to take him to Avatar: The Way of Water. He won't keep the glasses on. Like, I can't take him to that. Not to mention it's 3 hours and whatever minutes, but like, you can't expect that. So I don't know, but anyway, I ended up, what did I say to this guy? I said, of course the movie will be in 3D, but that shouldn't be the only way I get to see it on an IMAX screen, period. I'm one of the very few people that went and saw, I was one of 7 people in the theater for the re-release when I saw it that opening night. I said I was one of the very few people that saw the re-release a couple months ago because I love the movie. I said my comment section has been hilarious so far. Y'all are on the same level of bitches as Snyder Cult, is what I said to this guy. And he said, many people went to watch the re-release of Avatar. And he said, you also shouldn't reply in that manner, to be honest. You're entitled to your own opinion, but it works out better when you don't essentially call people bitches. And I said, then they shouldn't act like crybabies. And he ended up saying, wow, thank you for showing me what type of individual you are. I understand your substantial drop in views now. All the best. And I said, this YouTube thing is nothing but a hobby I do for fun, so I'm more than happy to get rid of people I don't want to see here again to keep that joy alive for myself. Have a good one and see yourself out. And he said, remember that weak minds resort to the use of insults in an argument. And I said, where's my insult in that one? Like, I didn't insult you in that one. I just told you to get out. Like, I'm but yeah, fantastic. My comments have been full of that. And
bro, it's
really funny.
Like I said, I tweeted you or added to your tweet yesterday or whatnot about it. Like I said, I despise them generally, and I hate when people fucking do it. But I take so much pride
Fucking
in
with
just
them.
trolling and fucking just fucking them up. It is hilarious because they're so just in the Kool-Aid and sucking the ball sack of James Cameron, and just Avatar is literally the way of life. Just not water,
Yeah.
but life.
Life.
Both films were God sent, edited, and shot by Jesus and overseen by God, and was given to people just for festive living or whatever the hell. I'm like, what are y'all on? Like, shut up. Like, it's, oh my God, it's hilarious. Because it's just like, yes, the movie's a visual spectacle. We fucking get
Yeah, of
it. The
course.
movie sucks butthole. But I'm just like,
What?
the movie fucking sucks.
It does not suck at all.
The movie sucks greatly.
If you watched it again, that's what's so funny about you.
I have watched it again. I fucking hate them. It's stupid. I hate the movie. It's really dumb.
But
visually great. The movie's stupid.
But compared to like every other movie that you like, it's 10 times as good. Like,
I guess.
I mean,
the movie's shit.
There, you have some sort of personal bias against it, and that's fine. Like
It's
you're
not.
right.
I do not like it. Even if these people did not get under my skin as much as they do in the movie itself, for the way James is handling all this shit, the movie still sucks. I believed it when I first saw it. I believed it when I saw it again.
So like, it's worse than Black Adam.
I had more fun with Black Adam. Absolutely.
I mean, Black Adam had more jokes, maybe, but like,
yeah, I enjoy Black Adam more.
I think I laughed at Black Adam more for how bad it was than for actual jokes. But
I definitely enjoyed.
Okay, Black but the way you answered that helps me, because you didn't love Black Adam, I know, but like at least you say you don't like it, but like, you know, it's not like Black Adam's like, oh, that's 10 times the movie. So okay, I'm better again.
Oh yeah.
But so let me read you this one too. This is what makes me think that they're possibly like bots. This is Lucy Panago 2454. A lot of them. So this other one is Tefri Yong 4044. So I think they're bots because they're first name, last name, 4 numbers.
It's actually James Cameron.
Yeah, correct. Hey, fuck you. But and also this is Lucy. And I'm like,
shit, man.
I'm like, women don't watch this movie. Like, very few women would be bombarding me with fucking hate. Because I wish people would go watch my video. I literally just talk about how I'm like, I really like the first one. I'm excited for this one. I thought this trailer would be better, but it's still good. And this person says, you keep saying this movie is terrible, blah, blah, blah. The trailer is bad, blah, blah, blah. I hate the 3D and I'm not the biggest fan of Avatar. Then why do you keep watching then? And I said, when in the hell did I say that Avatar is terrible? And that was 7 hours ago. And then 3 hours ago, I replied again. And I said, still waiting on a reply to this, Lucy. Comment back at the time of the video where I said the movie's terrible. I can't.
That's actually really funny.
And then Tefri Yong 4444 said, hater. All I got was a hater. And I just said laughing, crying.
Short and sweet.
This guy said, this guy's name is Michael's Avatar 7.
Oh,
so Die Hard.
The name, right?
And I said in my video, I'm done with 3D. Like, I'm done watching shit in 3D. And he quoted, he said, I'm done with 3D. LOL. We see the world in 3D every day. So why not see movies in 3D? This guy can't seem to grasp what 3D actually is. He said, I don't know. I'm talking about the fucking glasses and like the distortion to the screen. And he said he thinks it's some goofy addition to cinema, like moving chairs and air blasts to the face, rather than the natural progression of cinema, just like sound and then color. I don't need to watch his reaction. And oh my God,
he's an idiot.
I had a lot of fun with him, but he was the one. I always love doing this. If you ever have somebody in your comments that's being a bitch, I always say, hey, keep commenting, because it helps get my video out more, because it's got viewer interaction. So I'll keep replying to you, calling you a bitch, and you can keep replying, and that will just, when people search for the reaction, I'll keep popping up higher and higher. So I was like, keep going. And I just kept doing this guy, and he's like, I don't care. And like, he just kept me just like, I don't want to reply, but like you're wrong here, and like he just kept going, and it was just so much fun. Oh my god, I love like trolling these people. It has been a blast, so I appreciate their help.
Yeah, told you it's fucking great because they get so just wrap their whole life is into this. I'm just like, oh my god. I'm like, are you okay?
Yeah.
Like, why is this so? So I'm just like, okay, girl. I'm like, do you?
Literally, he's at one point because I said the glasses hurt my head. They give me a headache, and they distort
right into your shit here.
Distort the screen. And he said, I feel sorry for you as you're the only person I know who's ever complained about 3D giving them a headache. And I'm like, it's not really every person I've ever met.
That's not true at all.
He said natural selection, I guess. So basically saying like evolutionarily, I'm
right. You weak.
And he said, you'll be happy to know Avatar: The Way of Water was filmed at a higher frame rate to help people like you who can't handle what the vast majority of people can. So the 3D will be even better and won't give you a headache. And I said, crazy that you can type so well without being able to read. I didn't say the frame rate gave me a headache. I said the glasses did. Keep commenting back. Viewer interaction only gets my video in front of more people. And I just kept, and he's like, you clearly don't understand how 3D works. It's not the glasses. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, I don't know, man.
Like, sir, the physical fucking wear
the glasses.
of the glasses
is what I don't want. Like,
hurts the physical atmosphere of my goddamn head. Like what?
That was the thing. Is like, I wish I had. Oh, I do have sunglasses. I have glasses right here. So like, I'm wearing these glasses, which I'll have to take these.
And they're not the fucking paper shit anymore.
But like,
it's like
you know, you start with glasses like this, and then eventually I'm doing this to where they are not putting pressure where they just were, and then I'm like trying to like move them all around to where they're not hurting me in that spot anymore. And I gotta do it for 3 hours and 12 minutes or whatever. Like, I'm not gonna be a happy guy even if the movie's great. Period. And
it's actually funny because him trying to make that rate comment or whatever to suit that, the glasses only keep getting fucking bigger.
Yeah, that's correct.
Every time, so it's even more pain. So the point still sits on because these bitches keep growing every time. I'm like,
right,
Jesus. I'm like, they're fucking this size now. I'm like, this is dumb.
Yeah, and that's the thing too is, I don't know, our Daffster 25 in the comments over here, in the chat. They need to make more comfortable 3D glasses. Like, I don't like if there's anything that's against the point that guy was just making about it's the natural progression of cinema. It's that if people liked seeing shit in 3D, more money would go towards the glasses because the budget would make sense to pay to redesign the glasses. My theaters had the same fucking glasses for 10 years. And they're IMAX at AMC, but like I would guess that Lincoln Square has better ones because for fucking obviously. But like still these are hard plastic. They fucking hurt.
They do.
And guess what? It makes the picture less clear. Like, because that was kind of my thing was I went to see the re-release. Obviously, I wanted to rewatch the movie and see it in 4K and all that kind of shit. IMAX is awesome. But like at the same time, I wanted to test how my 3D was. Because that was my only option. So I was like, okay, I'll use this as my thing to see if I want to see the second one in 3D. And I walked out of that theater because it was a full remaster, not only to 4K, but also the 3D. And I said, 3D made it nothing but worse, not only for my physical, situation in the chairs, but also it made shit blurry in spots. It was strange and completely unnecessary. And I don't have the option to see it in 2D and IMAX, and I'm fucking annoyed with that. And I can't wait for the box office to show that. It'll be really fun.
And there's always the sides, which just all keeps getting fucked up. Like,
of course.
This shit to
my thing, I can't remember the last movie I saw in 3D before Avatar, but my thing was always.
Oh God, me either.
You walk in there with your glasses, and because they don't put the older ones used to be in those plastic packages, like the Real D 3D whatever.
Yeah,
they were in the plastic. And my thing was always, hey, people, if you're with me, don't open them until it says put your glasses on, and be very careful not to touch the lenses with your fingers because you'll leave a smudge that you get to see for fucking hours. And what pisses me off about, I remember the last 3D movie. I don't remember what it was, but my AMC still had somebody handing them, and the person handed them to me with their fingers on the lens. And I said, I looked at them and I held them up to this thing and I said, can you just take because they don't rub off right. You have to like clean them with cleaner.
Yeah.
And I said, can I grab my own pair? Because I'm gonna purposefully not touch the lens. And the girl was like, are you serious? And I was like, I already don't want to see this in 3D, but I'm for damn sure not gonna look at your fingerprint. Like I was like, are you gonna let me do it, or do I need to sneak around you, you know, in a little bit to grab it? And she let me get my own, but it was just not what I fucking want. Like I'm just done, man.
Yeah, it's
so we'll
to
see.
show you just how they're fucking evolving how heavy on plastic. People literally take them when they're done, pop the fucking lens out the shits, and just make them like designer fucking frames.
I remember that when I was in middle school.
Like that shows you how like hard and thick they are now and fucking uncomfortable. It's like, oh, I like these. That might be my new frames. It's like, what, bitch? No.
See, that's exactly what I'm talking about. People that have glasses, you want them to put glasses over their glasses. And you're not like...
And the whole time you're just doing this, trying to fucking adjust and shit.
Like yeah. Fucking hell. I mean, just trying not to be an absolute pain while also like... I don't know, man. It's ridiculous. I hate my fucking life.
It's annoying, but best movie ever made in the universe. Coming right up before anyone's seen it. So it's worth it.
Yeah, glasses over glasses. Not cool. I mean, and that's the thing is I feel like James Cameron's going to be like, wait, y'all still wear glasses? Like he's going to be like, y'all don't have fucking contacts? Yeah, everybody get LASIK. It's, you know, it's only $10,000 an eye. It's like, okay, James, I'm glad you've been on a fucking island making this movie for 17 years.
Right.
Don't know how the fucking world works.
Right. Come to show you, shoving everything out of goddamn face. And apparently everyone was like, yeah, you should make this movie shorter. He was like, yeah, get the fuck out of my office.
Right.
I was like, who would? I was like, oh, sir.
I half respect his comment because he's just such an old guy that's like, I'm not fucking changing. I mean, it's the whole point of every problem we have in this country right now. Right. But like somebody said, hey, how do you feel about people upset about the announced runtime of 3 hours and 11 minutes or whatever it is? And he's like, we need to stop the stereotype of not being allowed to go pee. And it's like, bitch, I don't want to miss a part of your fucking movie. Like, make one that I'm able to sit through.
Right. Like, what the fuck you expect me to do, homie? Yeah. Like,
I do need to see the menu. Have you seen the menu?
No, not yet, and I really fucking want to.
I want to, for sure.
It's gonna have to be this weekend or some shit. I have to see it.
Yeah.
That and Glass Onion. Yeah.
Yeah. Because Glass Onion's not playing in my city, so I'm really glad I went and saw it early.
Yeah. And here, 23rd to the 29th, right? Yeah. That they have it in an actual movie theater. So I gotta see both of those this week. This weekend after the holiday festivities. If I'm not in a food coma, by then, we'll see. But no, I'm very excited to see the menu. Very excited to see both.
Yeah.
So we shall see. All right. Well, I think it's going to do it for the section. There's quite a few of you in here, so we'll leave the comment section open for you guys. If there's any questions you guys want to ask during the live chat right now, anything you want us to further elaborate on, anything you felt like we've missed, any news, whatever, here's your time. This is your moment. Let's shoot the shit. All right. Have at it. I feel like there's something I wanted to say. Oh. What do you think is score of the year so far?
Score of the year?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Fuck. I mean, my immediate thought right off the top of my head is Top Gun, but that's just because I saw that a lot. Oh wow, I can't go back any further than that. Oh, last 6, I gotta change that. Okay, last 12 months.
I have not checked that show out. I'm not really on my Netflix shows right now. But Dead to Me just started its final season, so I'm about to binge that motherfucker.
Damn, I got excited for a second, but this is a 2021 movie. They just re-released it in January, but No Time to Die. And I was like, oh, that fucking score is phenomenal, but that was not a 2021. That's a 2021 movie.
No.
I don't know. What's your you're more of the score guy in terms of like jumping. I do love ever since Walker like made me realize the in Top Gun, the danger zone like notes in it. I was like, oh my god, I fucking love it. House of the Dragon, obviously, but I think he's talking about movies.
Fucking great. I am talking about movies.
Yeah.
It's tough. I want to say I have a top 3.
Okay.
And they jump all over the place. Right now, I would have to say I might say Wakanda, but at the same time, I still have Wakanda, I still have Everything Everywhere, and I still have the Batman. So those 3.
I mean, the Batman obviously is. I would actually.
So I'm like, I don't.
The Batman score is interesting for me because it doesn't have enough variety.
Right.
In my opinion, I think it's great, and I think the theme fits and all that kind of stuff. But Giacchino kills it, and like every song is great. But like
I use a lot of the same shit for different songs and all that.
So like I have to hear his theme in every song they put out. And don't get me wrong, I listened. That's what's kind of funny is I listened to that score for weeks. Like in my car, when I drove to work, when I drove anywhere, I had that score playing. So that should honestly be my answer. Because that score was the one that I could play a song, and although I hear his theme every time, I saw the movie so much that I could figure out where I was in the movie. Like the song would be playing, I'd go, oh, this is it right here.
Oh, actually, scratch that a lot. So I think it's definitely Wakanda for me for now. Like I said, Batman was great. It's cool. Everything Everywhere. Those people were top 2, but to round out top 3, I'd have to say The Woman King. We'll probably do round up my top 3.
Definitely solid.
Yeah. Because I mean, outside of them, there really wasn't a lot of like scores were just like holy fucking shit today. Outside of those 3, I was like, oh my god. And Top Gun, but Top Gun is very short, and they combine a lot of shit
really?
for like one song. Yeah. So they'll take a score from like a part in like the very beginning of the movie and put it as one continuous song and be like, oh, it's this song / this that happened all the way like at the end of the movie. I was like, oh, okay. Yeah. It's so
one thing I can say that infuriated me in a lot of ways is the one time in the Batman that they did something a little bit different is when Penguin crashes and Batman's upside down and it gives you that guitar riff of his theme for just a second. And that's not in the score. Like that song is not included. And that's stupid as fuck. Like
no, it's weird. Yeah, so I'll say Wakanda for me for top right now. TV shows, that's tough. Excuse me. Like House of the Dragon was great. Fucking Euphoria was great. Those might be my top 2.
Yeah, I mean
Euphoria and House of the Dragon.
Gotta be House of the Dragon for me. I mean they go all out when it comes to Game of Thrones music. So
true, but you haven't heard. Well, you haven't watched Euphoria, but the fucking soundtrack it makes no goddamn sense how good it is.
Really?
Yeah, it's phenomenal. Because it's definitely one of those experimenting type sound scores. Because Labyrinth, that's who scores it. Is very, very experimental and plays with a lot of instruments and sounds and hooks and things like that. It's amazing. But yeah, that was that. Yeah, okay, cool. Got it. I for sure thought you was gonna say the Batman. I'm not gonna hold you. I thought you was gonna say.
I mean, that's got to be my answer. I still have. That's the thing is we really just haven't had anything that's blown me away. So, like the Batman is great. I just wish it had more variety of sounds.
That's very true. It's a lot of rehashing. Doing different songs, use the same shit. It's like,
because at the end of the day, like while I think it's great, I don't love the Batman like legitimate theme.
Mm.
I do love the hopeful, like the use of the hopeful stuff. Like I'm like, oh, this is very different, but like the dun, 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 like that gets it's so
Gets
basic.
played out a lot.
It very quickly I'm like, okay, I get it. Like somebody's doing something, and then cut to the Batman just standing there, and it's like, and I'm like, okay, we're gonna do it again now. Like, give me something a little bit different. That's why when it does something a little, different with the acoustic guitar riff, it's like, like that was nice. Never again. And we don't even put it on the soundtrack. They're like, don't even act like we did it. So
the one that they do have on the soundtrack, that's my favorite version of that, is at the end when he goes to the Iceberg Lounge as Bruce Wayne, and he goes in there trying to free, like, stop Catwoman. It goes like doom doom doom, it like changes it up and goes like a little like deeper. I'm like, it's like, okay, it seems more badass. Like, okay, this is different. They changed it up. It's just straight to the point. But everything else is just pretty much the fucking same.
Yeah,
essentially. Let's see. And no, I would not care about a Quentin Tarantino Star Trek.
That's the thing, is if I was a Star Trek fan, maybe, but
even if I was, I don't want to see a bunch of people saying nigga in space. I'm all right.
Like, or fuck. Beam him the fuck up, Scotty.
Get that nigga to the bridge.
Oh shit, that's funny.
Because Samuel Jackson's got to be in there, so he's gonna be one of them. I'm like, fucking hell. So.
Oh god, that's funny.
English, motherfucker, do you speak it? Beam that nigga up, Scotty.
And they're like, no, he does not speak English. He's a fucking alien.
Yes, no. You have to speak the Vulcan language. The fuck? Oh, man. I have not watched the Peripheral, but I hear it's pretty damn great.
I haven't even heard of it.
Stranger Things, that's another thing that pissed me off. Stranger Things soundtrack is not that great until the very last episode, and they don't even have it on the fucking soundtrack.
No shit. I'm
like, this shit
what is the reason?
Is going hard. And I was like, I need to look this up immediately. Not there. I was like, wow. Okay. I'm like, this is stupid. Same thing, Book of Boba Fett. Trash ass fucking soundtrack. But the one that goes hard as fuck, not on the damn soundtrack. I'm like, okay, this is stupid.
His theme is good though until it starts singing.
Right. It's really good when you can't understand what the fuck they're saying.
Yeah.
But then I'm like, okay. This man has a
that makes me think of
a complex.
I was watching the behind the scenes making of actually for the score of God of War Ragnarok over lunch today, and the score in those games are phenomenal. I mean, they go all out, and the thing is, you can't understand any of the words. It's all in literally Norse, Old Norse language is the words being sung. And they're not saying that. And but what was cool was I did not know that they actually wrote English lyrics and then translated them to Old Norse, to where if someone did look it up, it makes total sense for the story, and like it all is like super integrated. And they're like, we just wanted to go that extra step. And I'm like, fuck, I don't feel like people do that shit anymore. Like,
they don't. Wait, so they cut out the Kratos part? Because they did used to say his shit in the old school games.
They don't say his fucking name in the music. No.
Oh.
Yeah. It is not. There is nothing about these games that is cheesy.
Oh,
that's
God.
why they are made for me.
Because in the fucking old ones, like, you be beating the shit out of a god. You're like, oh my
God. I completely forgot about something that I need to talk about. I watched the holiday special for Guardians.
Right. You did. That's
completely forgot about it already.
I don't know if that's good or bad, but
it's kind of the point, to be honest. It doesn't, drop any bombs necessarily, but I'm not going to spoil anything. But it is exactly what we thought and what the poster shows us.
Yeah,
For the most part, it's Mantis Drax.
thought so.
What I will say, and this is me being 100% honest, and this is not me being biased because of what you already know is my truth, but there's not one line in this holiday special that comes out of Dave Bautista's mouth that makes me wish he was there. Like, Drax is so bad. Like, if I compare him to the first movie, like, I love Drax in Volume 1. Like, he's great because he's like stern and like serious, but he's missing the point of everything. So the comedic stuff is there. And now he fucking laughs all the time. And he's just like, like hard laughing for no fucking reason. And then it was also kind of funny because basically Mantis is having to babysit him because he keeps fucking up on this mission with them two. And at one point early on, she's like, I should have just brought Groot. And he's like, oh, okay. And like, you're like, oh, he's going to start acting better. No, he just keeps doing it. And like at one point, literally, there's a question that's asked to like, because whole point is your trailer shows it, but hey, we're trying to save Christmas for Peter, so we're going to try to, bring him Christmas. And Kevin Bacon runs away, which you see in the trailer. And there's a point where Drax wants one of Kevin Bacon's Christmas decorations. And he's like, I dropped it. And Mantis is like, we need to go chase him or we're going to lose Christmas. And she's like, what do you care about more, that thing or Peter? Your love for Peter? And he's like, the little man. Like, he literally says, like, I want the decoration. And she's like, no, like screams in his fucking face and just like goes. And he's like, okay. And I'm like, how about you just stay here? Like, we'll just leave you behind and just go have volume 3 without you. Like, it's what, like,
don't worry about it. He's definitely biting a bullet in the third one. So
I hope he bites the bullet in the first 10 fucking minutes, man. Like, I fucking hate what James Gunn has done to that character, and it's fine, whatever. But like, I do despise him. He's okay in Infinity War, but
die, blanket of death.
That's what and then she's just like sleep, and he's like, okay, funny, like you get saved from him being awful. But one thing I'll say is Groot is big swole. He looks terrifying in this. He looks like a doll. Like, his face is like, in the first one, his face is like slim and kind of almost humanoid looking. And in this one, they just put a plank of wood and fucking 2 big ass black eyes and like a big old smile. And he's just happy as shit to be here. And he was very terrifying and a very small part of it. But what I will say, it's super cheesy, super dumb the whole time. Kevin Bacon, fucking incredible. Mantis is great.
Known to be.
Mantis is great. Pom Klementieff, she gets to basically lead this. She's definitely the lead over Drax, but she's really good in it. And then, I mean, the ending, it's got a heart of gold, and it makes everybody super happy, and it's super sweet. And it also like made me like click on some things that like I didn't fully understand originally, I just didn't notice as much about. Like, okay, the whole point is we're getting Kevin Bacon because of Footloose, and that's Peter's childhood hero because he saved a whole town by dancing, and saved everybody. And that he explains that in the first movie. He's like, there's named Kevin Bacon, and he does this or whatever. And and it's like, okay, it's awesome. And 20 minutes later, he fucking saves the galaxy dancing, and it's supposed to mirror Footloose.
Yeah.
And at one point, they kind of bring that up to Kevin Bacon, and he's like, "Oh shit, really?" Like, he's like, "That's cool," because they're like, "You're a hero," and he's like, "I played a guy that danced." And they go full meta with it. It's great.
When does that drop? I thought it was out already, to be honest with you.
Comes out Friday.
Oh, okay.
So yeah. But
when you posted it, I was like, oh shit, wait, did it come out already and I just fucking missed it?
Yeah, no, it's and I think a lot of people will love it. I think you'll enjoy it. The end is really like heartfelt and sweet. But
I can imagine Gunn does really good with heartfelt and sweet.
Right.
When need be, he does. But we'll see. I'm excited for it though.
Dave Bautista does have a new movie coming out. I won't see it.
Oh, I don't know, man. Shyamalan. I gotta see it.
I didn't see the last one. Old.
That's
You
right.
didn't see
I
it
did
either.
not see it. Nope, I didn't see it. I did see it. Actually.
That's what I'm like. Oh shit! It's like Tarantino's right. Like Shyamalan's supposed to be one of those directors you go see. I was one of those people. Signs is one of my favorite movies.
I mean, it just didn't look like it was interesting. I was I just kind of left it alone.
Yeah.
This one does though. This one actually looks really, really interesting.
I'd really be interested if it wasn't Bautista.
Oh, that's very true. This is prime swollen with Bautista too.
Oh my God, John. In this holiday special, man, I'm not even kidding. It's in the trailer when the spot that everyone points it out.
Yeah.
I need to rewatch it because obviously it starts out in space and then they're like, hey, we're going to go to Earth and steal them. And then all of a sudden they're on, Hollywood Boulevard or whatever. And that's the shot that everybody was like, God damn, he's swollen as fuck. Yeah. And so it's legitimately that transition, but I need to rewatch it to see if I'm just blind and in the beginning he still looks like that. But the second they are walking on that street, I was like, oh my God, it looks like he got it looks like he got stung by a bunch of bees. Like, I don't know what the fuck happened because I also just saw him in Glass Onion and he is.
I was gonna say he's back to normal now.
Yeah, like he is not like that.
He's back to normal now. Even on his Instagram, like recent posts, I'm like, oh shit, welcome back.
What the fuck happened, man? Like, yeah, I'm waiting for him to start saying like, oh yeah, like Zac Efron and I both fucked our jaws up, and
you so stupid.
Like just trying to explain why the fuck.
I got some bad shots, man.
Got a bowling ball as a head, but like it lasts the whole rest of the thing, man.
Fish, man.
Like he looks terrible. It doesn't help that he's in the bright California, sunlight in this makeup, but like, oh my God, man, it's so bad.
Yeah,
I can't believe it.
Straight puffer fish, man.
So what would be great is if they killed him in the first 10 minutes of Volume 3. Let it be great. Let him, go out saving everybody.
Gets the stakes out early, man. It's like, oh shit, this was not fucking around. Drax was dead already.
So I would cheer. I would legitimately cheer in the theater. Like,
I could not. But Knock at the Cabin does look interesting, and I gotta support gay leads. So
I need to watch. I don't think I ever watched the trailer for that, so I need to watch it. But
no, it's good. It's like Bautista has moments where I'm like, okay, this is good.
Yeah.
Another moment's just like, okay.
That's where like. That's what's funny about Glass Onion. I'm excited for you to see it because you'll see why I don't have a problem with him in that movie. And that's because he barely has to act. Like he's just a douchebag. And he has to do the level of acting that he did in WWE. Like it's very like minor acting chops.
Just characterization.
Like you're just a heel. Like be a douche. And he's like, oh, I got it. And it's not hard. And that's kind of the level that he's at. There is a flashback where they put him in a wig for one scene. It's fucking hilarious. But yeah.
Okay. I'll check it out. I will say my favorite thing of his is still My Spy. I thought he was genuinely good in that. That was a cute movie.
Oh, interesting.
I was like, wow, I actually really like this. But other than that, it's just like, okay, fine, whatever. The shit that he does.
I just always think in Dune, it always got to laugh when he just like randomly starts screaming.
Duke! What the fuck is wrong with you, man?
Like, God damn, we're right here.
I'm gonna wash my ass, man. Why are you yelling at me? God damn, bro. Yeah, he's just always just yelling randomly.
Yeah.
He just be mad calm and just
kill him.
All right. Like, Uncle, how could we just sit there, that Duke. It's like, I'm like, fuck, dude. It's like, all right. Well,
That makes
I'm
me think
sure.
of one line that here's the difference between a really good actor doing a cheesy line with a strange delivery, and then Batista. And I always go to this, but it is Man of Steel. And when Zod is about to get frozen and sent off, and he's like, I will find him. And it's the weirdest fucking shit.
Yeah.
And but it works because he's a good actor, and he's like, oh, he's fucking crazy, and he's gonna fucking find you. Like, period. He meant
says
it.
like fucking 20 times.
Yeah.
We'll find him, Laura. I'm like, okay, I heard you. Yeah, we'll find him. Okay. We got it. Can we hurry this shit up? I will find him.
Like, fucking put him in the penis. Put him in the
dick. Put him in the dick. Go, hurry up.
Make him a dildo and send him into space. Goddamn.
Right.
Push the button. We didn't let him. We weren't supposed to let him have final words.
Fuck the Phantom Zone. Fuck the Phantom Zone. Get him out of here. Literally. Get him the fuck out.
Oh, God.
It's just because so many of that man's emotions come straight through his eyeballs. He doesn't have to say shit. It's just eyeballs. I'm like, fuck. I remember, what movie was it in? Where they literally made fun of that. Right.
She's like, all right.
She's like, okay.
All right, sure you will. He's
Got
like,
it. Yeah,
no,
no problem.
I will, you bitch.
Like, oh, no. I will find a motherfucker. I'm like, wait, what? I'm like, okay, let's wrap this up. Oh, he's getting too convincing.
Oh,
Can we
man.
just...
Oh, yeah, Walker's watching The Walking Dead for the first time.
Oh.
I think he just hit Negan.
I was about to say, did you get to... Yeah. That's still one of the most fucking... Oh, my God.
And that is the start of when I stopped watching the show. And really, that I watched that season, and then I think I watched like half the next one. But
Indy, mini, miny. I watched I got caught all the way up until this very last season at the halfway mark. I have not finished the rest.
Really? Oh, wow.
Yeah, because I was like, you know what? I heard it gets good again. Let me just go check it out. Which it does. It gets really good again.
Homeboy Glenn's eyes popped out. Yes.
Oh my God. I was like, oh my God, just kill him already.
Fucking awful, man.
Yeah, it's... Bro, I remember we did a watch party for that. All of us were just tears everywhere, just fucking crying. Because Glenn was one of my fucking favorite.
He's my guy. Yeah.
And it's right after they did that stupid ass fake out where he thought he originally died in the goddamn dumpster. I was like, oh my God, Glenn!
He was literally texting me, was that yesterday or the day before? He was like, I'm watching Glenn get eaten by zombies. And I'm like, yeah, you are. Because I remember like watching that in real time going, oh my fuck. And then I was like, there's no way that guy fell on him. And like somehow and I was like, it's a cop out, but like that's going to be what happens. And thankfully it was. And then he gets his fucking head bashed in.
Because they played the whole fucking... Because they played us. Because in the comics that happens. But they started off with Abraham. I was like, oh God, it's not him. Cool. But then when they set up that shot, when Negan's just sitting there and Glenn's right here, I was like, bro, why are we holding this shot like this?
That's right.
Why are we holding this shot like
that's
this?
The thing too, is do you remember the horror that was the finale ended with Negan bashing somebody's head in? You don't see them.
Yeah.
And then the trailers for the next season don't tell you who it was. And so you would literally have to wait till the pilot.
Yep.
And I remember everybody was like, Glenn's not in the trailers and Abraham's not in the trailers. It's one of them. And I was like, please be Abraham. Like, fuck, man. I just need my boy Glenn. And nope.
And nope. I will find you. I was like, oh my God. I was like, yes.
And now, isn't his girl with Negan now?
Not with, like together, but they have a new spin-off show. The two of them.
And she should just be like, oh hey, I actually like you now, and then she just cuts his fucking head off. She's like, you remember my boy?
No, it's actually some of the best parts and writing of the new season is when those two are together, because there is so much obviously between them.
Yeah.
It's like anytime they have a conversation, it's just like, fuck, like So we'll see.
Yeah, I'm good.
Ooh, excuse me. God damn, what am I
I
fucking...
know, man. You're dying over there. We might want to.
I am. That's it. I don't know what the fuck's going on. It's my fault. I had some Papa John shit. So I think whatever that was just fucked me up because it happened last night a little bit too. So it's just the price of getting old. That's all it is. But yeah, Walking Dead. Glenn popped out eyeball.
Oh God!
And
my 12-year-old cousin was watching with him.
Oh yeah.
Oh good.
That's perfect. Traumatizing.
Yeah. That may have been too much. Yeah, no shit, man. I should have maybe thrown you a warning there. I didn't realize that.
Like, actually, let's change this.
Wait, are you in Waco now, or do you not? I thought you had class still. Are you, or is Hudson still with you? I don't know. Anyway,
I wouldn't know.
Well, yeah, I'm not sorry.
Yeah. No, I know.
But funny enough, his sister is actually going to be in the Thanksgiving Day parade, so you can you can go find my aunt and his little sister.
I will not be there because I don't do parades. They're fucking awful. But I'll watch it on TV. I'm sure I'll see it.
Yeah.
Fucking parades out here are horrible, dude. Like everything is just.
Oh God, no! It's gonna be horrible. Yeah. It's gonna. I fully because also, I mean, what's the weather like there?
Cold.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. Always just, and you got a bunch of that. She's on the dance team for their high school, and they're gonna go dance in the parade. Like,
I hope they're dancing like fucking.
I hope they can dance in 17 layers. Like,
warmers, right?
We're Texans. Like, we don't know how to deal with cold.
Yeah, no, because if there's anything of a unit or any fucking thing, whatever they fucking onesies, whatever the fuck they use, it's death. So I hope they're prepared for that one.
Yeah.
But all right, y'all. I think this here's a good spot to end things. Oh God, what was that? We want to thank you for joining us in this latest episode of the Film Cave. We thank you so much for joining us, giving your support, your love, and your attention. The parade and Jingle All the Way looked fun as hell. I wish that's what the parades look like out here.
No, you're sardines, man.
They
up
do
there.
not. Yeah, absolutely. It's like, oh, you want to go to this corner here? You got to use the bathroom? Well, what you want to do is you want to walk 20 blocks that way, past 10 more, and just come back up for 50 and go there.
My problem is how is it not a thing every year? If I grew up in New York City, do you know how quickly I would have an airsoft gun just fucking popping every single balloon above? I mean, every one of them. Like, I would ruin it because that's what you do as a kid. You do fucked up shit, you know? And it doesn't actually hurt anybody, whatever. I just, I pop Pikachu and there's Barney and what, like, doesn't fucking matter. But like, oh my God, man, I would have been a nightmare. I would have fucked it all up.
I'm sure.
And it would have been so much fun. Can you imagine?
I'm pretty sure that can cause some issues, popping a huge fucking helium-based fucking thing.
Yeah, but it's not gonna go quickly. It's gonna be little holes, I mean, it's not like it's not gonna fucking explode and just dump on people.
Know.
Like,
could be a faulty one. You never know. It could be like the movies, just popping on things, just poof, and fucking
they're still
flying everywhere.
They're still fucking not explosive. I'm just shooting a BB at it.
Oh shit, that'd be hilarious. Like, can you imagine doing that and all of a sudden just people flying through the air?
Well, yeah, I mean, can you imagine just like somehow there was a spark and it just Hindenburgs and absolutely burns everyone in that area?
Just explosions and people flying through the air. Fucking, oh God, that's horrible. Don't get any ideas, people. Watching this, we're not promoting. I would
guess it'd be a little bit harder to pop than that, but maybe not. I don't know.
Well, not if you're a fully tactical team. You never know. I got dark. Anyway, Logan.
Ninja stars. I'd be throwing ninja stars. They ain't gonna stop that.
Oh, I mean, you can throw them. That's gonna suck whoever the fuck they land on the other side.
It'll go in the balloon. It'll go in the balloon and stay in. I think this shit through. We'll see. You gonna try it
I mean,
out?
if it goes right, if it goes in the bitch, it gotta drop back out and just pop out. So it's like boop and then boop. Right
I don't know
down,
if it'll
and
come
it's
down
like,
hard enough to
"Ah!"
pop through it, but it maybe, and I'll just kill somebody.
I mean,
Sorry.
unless your aim is impeccable, cause it might do a few bounces.
true.
Because gotta go
Point.
pretty high.
Yeah, that's a
And
good
it's like
point.
boop. And I'm like, mommy, look what's. Oh my god,
Just take somebody's eye out.
Julia, right?
Julia.
Right.
Oh,
It's
man.
like, oh, shit,
I'll be on the
okay.
rooftop. You get what you fucking deserve.
Right. Fuck these floats. Oh my god,
Oh,
you're
man.
not even hitting them. Stop. Oh shit.
Okay, sorry about that.
Yeah, no, it's okay. Okay. So Logan, where can the people find you in your ninja star throwing self? And what
Yeah,
you
I
have
throw
going on?
Ninja Stars every day at 7 in the morning on Patreon. You can find it on Patreon.
Wear your hard hats.
Yes. And eye protection required.
Yes.
Right here, Logan_Swish on the Twitter. Patreon, I do have Andor. The finale is tomorrow. I have already seen it.
That's right.
Kind of boring. So we'll see about that. But excited for season 2. I need fucking K2SO. Good God.
That's right.
But yeah, so that's happening. We'll figure out what I'm going to watch on Andor because I don't know if there's any other big shows coming out for a hot minute. So now might be a time where we do something. I don't know. But yeah.
Touche.
And besides that, there's nothing going on. I'm unmotivated to do anything else. What about you?
I felt that.
Right?
Anybody understands that it's me when it comes to YouTube. But no, I think I'm moving everything back to. Of course, it'll be back and forth, but the main channel, I think I'm doing it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it just looks and is better, and especially if I want to start with like collaborating with more people. It's gonna take the risk. If I do it and I get another, because I don't see anything anywhere anymore about any more strikes, so I think they go
Got
away
rid of
after a
them?
period of time. I think, at least that's what I'm hoping. If not, fuck
Sweet.
them for not keeping it up there to let me know. It's like, hey, just a reminder, you got 2 of these motherfuckers.
Right. Because that's what I want to say. I remember somehow like they're still on your record, and like if you get another one, it's not good. Like
Oh yeah, if I get one more, then that's a wrap. But it doesn't say that on the thing anymore. Like it tells me I have like a strike about a claim or some shit, but not any more strikes.
Okay,
So I'm like,
gotcha.
oh, okay.
Sweet.
So we'll see. I don't fucking know. If it gets shut down, then fuck YouTube
Then
forever.
I'll change the link in the description at some point.
Yeah, then fuck YouTube forever. We'll see. But you can find me there. Well as Logan's channel will be linked.
Find John on LinkedIn. He's looking for a job.
Absolutely. Times are hard, man. It's New York life.
He'll be working the parade on Thursday. Very excited.
Yeah.
He's blowing up the balloons.
Stars, right? Catching ninja stars. But yes, you can find the Logan channel linked in my description box below.
Your description.
LinkedIn, my description, as well as occupation. And follow me on all forms of social media up top. Go do it. Have fun. Why not? Yeah. So that's going to do it. It is your boy Knight.
And I'm Logan.
And as always, we'll see y'all in the cave. Peace.
See you guys.